All right, we should be live, assuming I know how to push buttons as always. So
Just
you
it's
never,
not as easy as it sounds.
you never know, you never truly know. But yep. Welcome, Sunday Speedrunner Spotlight, episode 174. That's a lot of episodes, but
Hell yeah.
hell yeah. But we got a very special guest, someone I've been a fan of their music for a long time, and just happened to also speedrun. So that's pretty cool.
I sorry, I looked up what Pokemon 174 was
Oh,
just to
okay.
see it's Igglybuff, which is crazy.
Well,
Just like that's the baby version of Jigglypuff. And
mhm.
I feel like I personally on a comparison to speedrunning, that's how I would consider myself.
All right. So it's perfectly fitting then. So that's good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with some of your work, but you can introduce yourself anyway.
Yeah, FamilyJules. It's interesting because I'm so I'm so ADD ADHD, but I'm not like I don't actually have ADHD, but like I have so many different projects that a lot of people have heard of me from completely different places. Was just talking to Bird
Mhm.
650, and everybody in the Discord was talking about like, yeah, like I heard your music back in like 2010 or whatever. Um and he's like, I didn't even know you made music. I just knew you because you speedrun Mario 64. And I
That's
was like,
wild.
whoa, that's crazy. So yeah, and I think he must have seen like the super cursed highlights I did back during COVID
Mm.
of my Mario 64 runs and stuff. But yeah, no, so I'm always flabbergasted at the different places people know me from. The main one is probably my doorbell.
Yeah.
Um, there was my most viral video was I programmed my doorbell to play Megalovania. But I have also been doing video game heavy metal covers on YouTube since 2010. Um, Started with GoldenEye, and now I'm covering some Star Fox 64. So very clearly, I have a bias towards one console. But yeah, and then worked on a few games. I worked on Cadence of Hyrule, Rift of the Necrodancer, Crypt of the Necrodancer, Binding of Isaac, um, Infernax. There's a lot of kind of random things, and it's all random stuff. Where it's like Rift, I composed. Crypt, I did the guitars. Infernax, I did 8-bit soundtracks. Like so. Yeah, there's a lot of different stuff. Trying to think if there's something else people would know me. Are we allowed to swear? Is that
Yeah,
okay?
that's fine.
Okay. That's the answer I usually want.
Okay,
is
great.
is a laugh like and of course you can. And I'm like, all right, good. I'm among friends. I ate my ass for charity. That was a thing that I did.
I
That
don't know what that means, and I'm scared
we
that.
can get we can dive into that later. That's a
Okay,
whole
cool.
that's a whole can of ass.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
off to a great start.
Good. Yeah. I'm certainly a bit unhinged, but I will say as far as speedrunning, I of course know you from your Mario runs.
Oh.
I'm a huge fan of GDQ. I I remember I had a funny moment where at PAX I ran into TGH and Amber.
Mhm.
Uh, and they came up to me to say like, "Hey, like I'm a huge fan of your music," and I was like, "I'm a huge fan of your runs." So it was like this really cool like mutual respect like right off the bat. And they both came to a show I did recently a few weeks ago in Massachusetts.
Mhm.
So like it's really cool. Like I see so much respect in both it's so weird there's really just such a spectrum of like the most respect and the most toxic in in both worlds of music and speedrunning.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's really cool because a lot of the people, um, I don't know, the what's the phrase? You find your people, I think.
Mhm.
And everybody I've met personally from the speedrun community has been absolutely wonderful, respectful, and um, I've only I've only heard the horror stories. I still have not met any any
Yeah.
any problematic people, but it's the same thing with music, like where it's I think there's kind of this thing where people are always like, "Oh man, the community is so like it's so welcoming and so fun and whatever." And I feel like the deeper you're in any community, whether that's speedrunning music or League of Legends or Undertale fandom,
Hmm.
you'll be like, there we have moments."
Yeah.
So, yeah, from my experience, the speedrunning community, coming from a completely different niche on the internet, has been overwhelmingly welcoming
Mhm.
for sure.
Yeah. I've always said that like the drama's what, gets clicks, right? It's like
Of
what
course,
you always hear
yeah.
about, but that is like 0.01% of the community, if even.
Mhm.
Like the
Yeah.
majority of people you're gonna meet are honestly kind of shun that kind of content,
Of
myself
course, and
included. So,
of course, yeah, like, and it's, I really do think, I think in this day and age, a lot of people can relate with this with social media, but
mm,
I remember in 2010, 2011, I was experiencing this phenomenon that a lot of people couldn't relate with me, where I could get 99.99% comments that just like fucking polished my dick, like fucking loved my content, like absolutely just like could not ask for nicer comments. But if there was one comment that was like at all like even sometimes even just critical,
mhm,
and in a way that like when you take yourself out, you're like, oh my god, that guy didn't even say anything bad. It was just like there's something about just the majority of that goodness, that one polar opposite is so much louder.
mhm,
um and I feel like a lot of people can relate with this
yeah,
like now. But I think I want to believe that also goes the other way, where if you have a channel that's only toxic, that like all you do is just like shit on people and stir stuff up, and your comments are just filled with people who just hate your guts. You get one comment where someone's like, "Hey, this made my day," and that like fills you up. Like, I don't know, and that's kind of just to illustrate just kind of the how sometimes the tiny, tiny, tiny minority of comments can sometimes feel like they burn the brightest,
mhm,
when that couldn't be further from the truth.
yeah,
And I'm sure it's the same case with people in communities.
yeah. Like, I have met very few. I have met a lot of people, and very few of them turned out to be weirdos. I mean,
Mhm.
and usually when you knew them before you found out they were weirdo, they were still pretty nice, at least to you.
Mhm.
So I don't
Right.
know. But
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
large
yeah.
majority is awesome. I mean, I wouldn't be around this community for as long as I have if it hadn't been just like the best thing I've ever found. So,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah. It's again, you find your people,
mhm.
you know.
Oh yeah,
Even among communities that have like lots of different people, I feel like then you just get to pull from a bigger pool.
yeah.
Um,
And it's so
but
diverse too. Like we all have a common
yes,
interest, but like it is so diverse, and there's something about that that's so interesting just to learn about
right.
different people. I don't know. It's more fun that way.
It's the same thing with music for sure. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
you definitely have, the people who this is their bread and butter every day, working, 32 hours every single day, like just
Hmm.
completely destroying themselves. And then you have some people who are like, yeah, I got a 9 to 5, and then when I come home, I, bust out some athletic theme, and it's absolutely a hobby. And uh, I think because of that, yeah, you get such a cool, diverse diverse group of people in all of these different communities. Um, I think there is very little crossover between YouTube music and speedrunners. So I definitely feel like I found an interesting bridge in that. Um, but I I'm hoping that it also helps kind of diversify the circle, you know.
Yeah. Um, to go back on something earlier, also shout out Amber for helping bridge us together for this. So
Amber's phenomenal.
yeah, they're great,
Love
and
them.
TGH as well. So
Yeah.
big fan of them. But yeah, you said you knew me. That shocks me, I guess.
It's very strange how much it it can sometimes feel like the the bounds of a community can kind of feel like the entire world, and anything
Mhm.
past it is a completely other world, you know.
Yeah.
um but I had a buddy who said that and he was in like a super technical brutal death metal band that played like local.
Mm.
um and he was in another one of those bands, and they toured together, and they were all just watching GDQ,
Hmm.
and they're all talking about, they're just like, oh man, like, they're talking about, god, this must have been, back in the Siglemic days,
Mm.
uh Narcissa Wright and stuff like that. And just like, watching run after run after run, and just being like, oh my god, like if I could do some of these things, I would, like, that would be amazing. And you see that same thing the other way, where there are speedrunners who are like, man, if I could play a guitar or something like that. Like I remember, I slid into Punkation's DMs, and he was sending me like his progress on guitar, kind of
Okay.
just being like, oh yeah, like, I learned how to play like Happy Birthday. Like he just bought a guitar, and he's just like, and they're like, I was like, that's amazing that like you would even like reach out to me, because I look up to you, as like, my favorite Mario 64 runner. So there's so much mutual respect, and there's so much surprise when there's a realization that, like, one person's day to day is another person's dream. But there's a crossover where their dreams are what the other person does. It's so cool.
Yeah. And yeah, I guess I don't really see that a lot. There's like a mutual respect I see a lot of the time, but like when it comes to the full on like living each other's dreams thing, you don't really hear that too often.
Yeah, no, you don't. But something with music and speedrunning, it's like everybody had one like story path apparently when they started gaming,
Yep.
where like they either went the direction of one or the other. And I somehow, you know 50-50 grinded down the fence of the middle of that, and did video game music. So it is cool. I definitely find myself like a center hub for a lot of very far off people. Like people that I've met. Um, like, thinking about something like Punkation, but also Grant Kirkhope. You
Mhm.
know, it's it's wild. I don't know. I think it's very fun to meet so many different people. And it's nice when there's kind of like so much like initial respect, just like right off the bat.
Mhm.
I feel like you have to do a lot less like social, kicking your feet around and being like, so what do you do? Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
it's really cool.
Yeah. There's something about internet content creation because like everyone that's active on the internet is pretty much in like doing these kind of social things are pretty much doing that. So you all have that connection. But then there's millions of different ways to do that
Yes.
but you all still have that mutual respect for the online thing.
I think there's also a mutual social weirdness.
Yes.
Like, because a lot of I feel like if you're on the internet in any long-term regard, it's probably because uh human beings didn't really work out.
Yeah.
Like socializing and stuff might not, because then, like, I don't know, I would assume you would be at like clubs or something, or
Yeah.
on a football team, or I don't know, just working in a call center. I like For me it's just, like I've always felt more comfortable um kind of zeroing in on a project. Uh and I think that is in some ways a reason why I very seldomly collab, even though I love like everybody I work with. I think there's something about the nature of what goes into being a streamer, being a YouTuber, being a content creator of any kind that requires you to kind of be a little bit of a recluse. And I think there's
Yeah.
social issues that come along with that, but then you meet other people with those similar things, and then that's something that actually is a glue, and like you guys can, I don't know, play off that. It's cool.
Yeah. I definitely had that path of being like just socially awkward and didn't talk to people. Even like my first GDQ, I didn't really branch out outside my friend group. But the more you go to
Mhm.
events and meet other people that have like similar kind of mindsets and stuff, you kind of branch out more and then you get better at it. So it's
Yeah,
something that's certainly
absolutely.
helped me just in general, like being social in life. It's actually
I
helped a lot.
I noticed that that's a very, very, very common story from GDQ specifically.
Mm,
People who say like, my first GDQ, I was shy. I didn't really like say hi to people, but then it sounds like the community is friendly enough that like if you go a second time, that's not going to be the case anymore. Like you're
mm,
going to be able to really kind of find your people and find things that you enjoy doing there. I still have never been to GDQ, and I want to go so bad, but they keep making it too close to MagFest, and
mm,
MagFest is
I see.
that yeah, I mean that's music and gaming fest, so that's kind of the one that
Yeah.
I feel like I always got to go to. But SGDQ is always I guess on the is always an option, but for some reason I think summer is a very busy con schedule, and I do a lot of performances. Like I just got back from MomoCon in Atlanta, where I did a guitar clinic where I
Mm,
did it felt like, all the guitar clinics I watched growing up, but the difference was I was playing the Mario Castle theme
hmm,
and then talking about like what goes into having to play that and stuff. And it's it's tough to like even make these events, and I feel like there's almost like so much of a comfort that I have in the cons that I go to that I think I would be shy at GDQ.
hmm. Well,
Uh well, because like that's not like I definitely felt like I shoehorned myself into the speedrun community, and for a very long time, I wouldn't even consider myself a speedrunner. I felt like a total poser,
hmm,
uh, because I I just felt like it was kind of a distraction from music, because I was living and breathing and shitting and coming music every single fucking day, and like I needed something else that kind of like uh stimulated me, but that didn't have anything to do with music, just so that I could have that energy to put back into the music and not just burn out horrifically on it.
hmm,
And speedrunning was that thing for me. It was something that like, captured all of the, uh what do you call it? Just that like unresolved childhood trauma of escaping
hmm.
through video games
Just
and
the
stuff, and kind of
nostalgia.
yeah, or yeah, that's what I meant. And
Yeah, okay.
the um or well, and having something that you feel like you're being productive, and something that also gives you dopamine every time you get a green split. And yeah, there was definitely something there that helped invigorate my music, by doing this silly hobby. But I almost felt like, because I was already this established musician on YouTube, that any amount of me trying to push myself as a speedrunner would just be cringe as hell. Like 'Cause it's kind of the same thing when you have, like, those big YouTubers that start putting out, like, rap albums or whatever, and you're just like, "Dude, what are you doing?" And sometimes it's good, but, like, there's kind of just like a I think for a lot of people, there's, like, a fear, of, like, "Oh, no, are you gonna just, like, give up that initial thing?" And, I don't know, there was, I wouldn't say it was, like, imposter syndrome because, like, I felt like by the time I started streaming it, I was already, like, good enough where I was just like, "Well, at least I can, like, be entertaining while I do this, so even if I'm bad, like, like, it'll be fine." Um, for me, it felt like I was forcing myself into a community that I didn't belong. Um, and it was actually a respect thing. It felt more like I've built this audience from, making music, and then I just so happened to be speedrunning and, getting, a bunch of views and this was before, like, people like, the, like, OTK people would start doing Mario 64 runs or Simply.
Mhm.
Um, and there was kind of just like this and I noticed it. There was definitely some people who were like, "Why does this guy get so many views? He sucks." Like, like
Yeah.
he's like number 333 on the Banjo Kazooie 100% leaderboard. Like, why has he got like 100 viewers in his channel? And it was something that I was kind of like, bro, I wish I could just send all of my viewers to you, and I would like I would raid other Banjo Kazooie speedrunners when I was done because I felt like listen, like I hopefully I could bring you into this world, and let you know that this is a thing if you didn't know it exists and there are people way better than me doing it too. So and I hope that in some way that can the purpose of streaming it would be not only to like for me to get better but to also put more eyes in the community.
Mhm.
Um is what that transformed into. That initial kind of like, "Oh no, I don't want to like step on any, toes." It turned into, well, I can use this to actually, try to help put more eyes on it.
Yeah. And I kind of get it because speedrunning does kind of have like a deep rooted history of being kind of gatekeepy. I wouldn't say it is
Oh
much
yeah.
anymore, but like it was a very like select group of people like way back when. This is well before my time, but like
Hmm.
you would hear stories of just like there was a big thing I remember where if you like made money streaming, you were an outcast, you were a sellout.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, times
I
have
mean,
changed a lot, but
everything you're saying, I mean,
yeah,
is could literally be said about the music industry, man. I
yeah,
mean, it wasn't long ago that even if you took a sponsorship, you
mm,
were a sellout.
yeah,
And like if you made a song that felt specifically like you were making it for the radio, you were a sellout. You were no longer cool.
hmm,
Um, I I would venture to say it. Okay, I won't say it doesn't get more gatekeepy than music, but
hmm,
it's definitely in the higher. It's definitely an S tier gatekeeping community. Um, I think like it's just it's elitism.
hmm,
I went to I studied music in college, and I met some of the most elitist people you can ever even like. If they were Pokemon, they'd be like an elite type. Like
hmm.
just literally everything that they ever said and everything they ever did was this like insecure like I need to have this and you don't belong there unless you're something,
Like high and
and
mightiness.
well, yeah, like they're like, I have put in all of this work and I have kind of carved out this place for myself. You can't come in
Yeah,
because that makes that like that means that my place is like less important. It's not inclusive. um I think all that elitism is absolutely just defense mechanism stuff, and
mhm,
I do see it in the speedrun community, but luckily not anybody that I have personally interacted with, just
yeah.
stories I've heard, and I hear it and I'm just like, man, it's everywhere. Like
Hmm.
it's not just speedrunning, it's not just music, it's all sorts of communities. And
Yeah.
I think the best way to do anything about that is try to set an example. You know, like don't try to like you know, I feel like so many people are quick to like call people out online and make a big stink out of things, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
I honestly like, maybe it's idealizing, but like I definitely feel like I um would rather just be the change I want to see in the world, and that's what I try to do.
Hmm.
So that's me doing my part, but
Yeah.
I I I I, I hope I've never come across elitist to anybody.
No, I don't think
And
so.
yeah, no, I appreciate that, but it's everywhere,
I've
you know.
certainly come across as elitist in speedrunning, so I
I'm sure
I
I've come across elitist as a musician, so it's
yeah.
okay.
I had famous Twitter drama back when I actually used that site. I don't anymore.
Oh, you
But
too?
yeah, yeah. So yeah, make sure to make your points clear, I guess, and don't come across the
There's no
wrong
such
way.
thing.
I know,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Just make sure that everybody gets you exactly as intended,
yeah,
because that's something you have control over, clearly.
yeah.
Like,
Uh,
nah.
I mean, I won't go into that because that drama was cleared up in 24 hours and had happy endings, which does not
That
always
was
happen.
it doesn't. I had a similar I had a similar experience too. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, it was about elitism and speedrunning, and I came across it the wrong way. And
Aw.
I've always been someone that tries to not be that way. Granted,
Mhm.
but yeah, there are some issues. I don't think it's nearly a problem as it used to be. Again, like the 99.9% of people are going to be accepting to anyone. They want more people to come into the community, and you can be as bad as you want to be. It really doesn't matter. as long
Thank
as
God.
as long as you're having fun, that's really
Yeah.
all that matters. So,
Ha- Wait, you guys are having fun?
oh well. Well, uh
It's fun
it's
getting PBs.
arguable. It's arguable,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
uh,
No, I mean, there is like, you know, this is tangential, but like there is such a from the outside looking in, uh I think people see when runners get personal bests, uh a disproportionate pop off than what they would expect, you know, because
yeah.
they don't see the amount of time and the sweat and the tears and the, you know, Twitch trolls they got to ban, and to get to that point of, you know, getting a world record or even just a personal best. um and like even me, like, you know, in the beginning, you know, Banjo Kazooie 100% would have been like at this point world record 2 hours and 4 minutes or something like that. And when I got a sub 230, I fucking I jumped out of my skin.
Mhm.
Like, I popped off so hard. And that's something where, like, I feel like even if you knew the leaderboards, it's hard to really kind of conceptualize why is that a big deal.
Yeah.
and, and I I can't remember what my point on this was, but I think it really is kind of it's hard to, oh, right, it reminds me of, people say that the most exhilarating thing, like the most exhilarating win you can experience is in like a boxing match. Like the feeling of like, you know, at the end when, you know, the ref like raises your hand, like there's some like weird survival thing of like, ah, I've defeated, you know, like with fisticuffs. um I don't know, but it feels like that when you achieve something with speedrunning. And I think, you know, on the topic of, are you guys are having fun, is like, it is so uh it, I feel like I just want to say the word, it's so hard, but
Yeah.
that doesn't even come like, it's not even the right word. Difficult, it's impossible.
Well,
Like the things that speedrunners are doing are impossible.
I argue they seem
Like
impossible, but like anyone can do it if you put in the work, just like anything, right? You just
right.
need to know what you're doing and like work on execution. Like a lot of music
Absolutely.
seems impossible, right? Like
Exactly. So that's like anything that, you've done in Mario, I'm sure, somebody in you know, periphery while they're on the tour bus, they're watching you. They're like, that's impossible. Like there's no way a human being can do that. And it's the same thing with the music. Like, yeah, it sucks in the beginning. It's and if you're comparing yourself to a whole bunch of people where like speedrunning is hard because there's a literal number. There's like an objective integer there that you can compare yourself to. Whereas with music, like I think it's a lot more subjective as to like, oh, like am I better than this person? Does it matter? No, but like like while you're learning and you can't even play a D chord, it sucks and it feels like you should just give up. Um, I think, but then once you get through all that stuff, the impossible starts seeming a little bit more possible every day.
Mhm. Yeah, it's weird the whole leaderboard thing because the main person you want to be battling is yourself, right? You just want to see
Exactly.
your numbers get better and not care about
Mhm.
other people's numbers. But at a certain point, I think every speedrunner that gets pretty good at something eventually hits that kind of block where it's like you start focusing on the numbers and it gets in your head a bit. I've definitely suffered that many
Me
times.
too.
It takes a while to get over, but it's just because
And I
it's
think
the passion, I say,
absolutely,
talking.
it's cyclical too. Like
Mhm.
I think you'll feel like you've kind of gotten over it, and then it kind of comes back, and you're like, what? I thought I dealt with
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
and it's totally normal. I mean, yeah, I've dealt with that with YouTube subscribers, and
Mhm.
now YouTube subscribers don't even mean anything because you don't get videos from your subscriptions anymore. You just get whatever the hell YouTube is throwing at you. Um, but it's still a number. It's easy for lizard brain to see and be like that number not big, but if was big, then me happy. Like,
Yeah.
and it's the same thing with like times where you just I- like right before it reaches the logical part of your brain, you kind of sit at, man, if I could just shave off 1 minute off this time, I would be happy forever. And like the second you start thinking about that, you're like, oh well, like that's not. But like for some reason, the majority of the time, like you subconsciously sit there, like, man, if I just got into, you know, 225, like oh man, everything would be great forever. I would
Mhm.
never die, and I would always be like,
Yeah.
like it's so weird how that happens, but it's I don't know. It's the same thing with anything, but music is nice because at least it's there isn't a lot of numbers, or at least there didn't used to be. Now there's Instagram follower counts and um, but I think people always speed ran guitar. Like there was always like that there was something impressive about like, oh, you could play Flight of the Bumblebee at 300 beats per minute. That's cool. Like, but I feel
That's why
like
Clone
for
Hero
a
is so
lot of
popular, right?
oh my god, I know, and like FC's 200% speed and stuff, like
Mhm.
it's so impressive and it's so cool. Um, it's hypnotizing to watch. But I think the harder it gets harder to deal with, the more objective it gets.
Yeah.
When there are literal numbers involved, and I think speedrunning is certainly extremely stressful.
Mhm.
Because it's much easier to compare numbers than subjective experience.
Yeah.
Um,
And you can tell when someone cares about the numbers and when they don't. Like you'll see someone get 300th place and pop off because maybe they got like a sub 3 or whatever, and you'll see all the
mhm.
world records holder being like, "Man, my run sucks because it's 1 second off what I want."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm guilty as charged, of course, but
I was gonna say I don't. I think everyone cares about numbers.
yeah, well,
I'm convinced. everybody cares.
I guess
Like,
less about the leaderboard number and more about the time number is the
yeah, yeah,
distinction that
yeah,
I'm trying to make here. They're both
for sure.
numbers, but
Yeah. I've always kind of felt this feeling of like, oh, like I respect the people that like they're clearly not doing it for the numbers, they're doing it for the love of the game. And then I'd meet them and they'd be like, "Oh my god, like if I don't hit like this number, then I'm not going to be able to pay my mortgage." And I was like, "Oh, he cares about numbers. Okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jesus." Like
It's like, what
I
numbers do they care about? That's the
right,
question.
right.
It's some number.
Everyone it is some number. We all care a lot about numbers.
Yeah, but it's just which number, because if you get like held up on the leaderboard number, it's gonna get in your head. But like
Oh yeah, yeah.
the important number is like your goal, I guess.
I
That's the number to
maybe
focus on.
I'm yeah, maybe I'm blessed in that I always I almost purposely always ran games that there was no way that I could ever be like a world record holder.
Mm,
Like I exclusively ran games that were oversaturated. It
yeah.
was like Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, Ocarina of Time. Uh I did Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 and accidentally got world record for N64 and
Oops.
and that was scary because I was like, "Oh, I don't want that. Like please somebody bought me." But like I also did want to I wanted to encourage people to do it too. The only reason I got that speed run was because I was exclusively running games on N64 and nobody wanted to play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 on the N64 because it was like one of the slowest loading ones.
Oh yeah.
Um, so I realized that like I had like a technical world record, and that's that's happened twice now because I think I have the world record for MST on a American cartridge
Mm,
for Ocarina of Time. But again, it's kind of a technical world record, but there's
yeah.
part of me that's just like eh, it's like you said earlier, like I'm doing this for uh to compete against myself.
Mhm.
That's the fun part. Like
You don't want to think
um
about all the other people.
no, no,
Yeah.
no, no, not at all. I mean, if I wanted to do that, I would have done like esports or something. Like I would have uh are you would you consider yourself I'm flipping the interview now.
Okay.
Uh
Okay.
would would you consider yourself a competitive person
Probably, yeah.
against other people more than yourself?
That's a hard one. Um, well, as someone that just came back from a tournament, um, uh, that was very much a competition against others. But
Right.
I don't know. I'm also my worst critic, and I'm always fighting that, I guess. So
Mhm.
it's kind of just half and half, I think.
Okay. So what's it was a self-indulgent question because I'm very much not competitive.
Mm,
I have a very hard time feeling a drive to compete against others.
I see.
Not because I'm afraid of losing. I'm afraid of both.
Mm,
I hate to lose, but equally I hate to make somebody else lose.
interesting.
Like I hate that feeling of uh making somebody feel like if they were better they would have beat me because
Mm,
then they beat themselves up. And I am a absolute legend of beating myself up. Um so that's definitely like, me an empath thing. But I I am insanely competitive against myself.
mhm.
Like that's the caveat. It's almost like 99 competitive against myself, 1% competitive against others. And that's why speedrunning appeals to me so much is that like it is just a competition against myself every single time.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm trying to think now. But obviously in a competition, like, oh, there's money on the line, you just have to be good and not care about everyone else but yourself.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
but yeah, just for general like speedrun stuff, like yeah, I'd be like, oh, this person's hitting close. I gotta like maintain my whatever. But once they do beat you, usually it's maybe you'll beat yourself up about it, but to the other person, you're usually like, cool, good job. You know,
Mm.
you have that respect for it. Like you're not I'd say there's no like negative competition against others. There
Mhm.
might be negative competition with yourself, aka beating yourself up, but it's usually
Yeah.
only respect towards your competition.
Yeah. I um I I entered a GoldenEye 64 tournament at MomoCon.
Mm.
And that's not something I normally do, mostly because they never play games or like they never have competitions of games I actually know.
Hmm.
GoldenEye I'm very I would say I'm very good at GoldenEye. Um I there was part of me that was kind of like, oh, like I don't wanna like destroy somebody, and if I do, I want to make sure that like I'm still just like, hey, like thanks so much for playing with me, like whatever, just like hoping that that would kind of take some of the I don't know, awkwardness is the right word. It's just like that feeling of putting somebody else down
Mhm.
is what winning to me feels like. And I know that that's not the case. Like I know everybody who goes into a competition, they know that there's a likely possibility that they're going to lose. The least likely scenario is they win. Uh and the only thing you have control over is how much you've practiced and how good, you are, I guess, but like you have no control over the other people who are playing, what how they practice, how much they practice, stuff like that. But like I felt like I went into it just like, okay, like let's jump in, let's have a good time, and I'm gonna try to like not be an asshole, like, um, and uh, I did win, but the previous winner, the person who won the year before, was wearing his like medal that he got for winning the GoldenEye tournament,
Hmm.
and he sat next to me for the final match, and he was just like, "Yep, I came here." We were talking about something, and he like showed me his medal. He's like, "I came here and I intend to win,"
Hmm.
and I was like, "Damn, okay." Uh, and I smoked him. Like I got twice the score, and I was still just like, oh man, dude, like you played a great game. Like thanks so much for playing with me. Like I really appreciate it. And he was destroyed. Like he brought um a he brought his own controller
Mm.
to the tournament, and I think he forgot it.
Oh,
Like
I see.
I was just like, man, like, and so that's one of those things where it's just like even then, man, like I mean, if you're really really competitive, this it it sucks,
Yeah, I get it.
um but for me, I I don't know. Like I feel the same. I feel the same if I lose or win,
Hmm.
because like if I lose, I'm like, ah man, like that sucks. And then if I win, I'm like, ah, sucks you didn't win, man. Like like genuinely I feel that, and I feel like it sometimes comes across like I'm like trying to like it is genuinely how I feel, and I think that's why I'm not a competitive person. Now if I lose against myself,
Yeah.
that's a totally different thing.
Mhm.
So that's I think that's the biggest reason why I got into speedrunning in the first place is because well, I think number one is it gave me an excuse to play my favorite video games more. Um and also because it was something that was competitive against myself,
Mhm.
and that appealed to me a lot.
Well, I guess speaking on that topic, d I forget if you mentioned, like, how you found out about speedrunning in general, but I am curious
Mm.
also, like, how you started doing it yourself.
So I'm in a band called Thunderforge. We're a operatic progressive power metal band.
Hmm.
Um, and the drummer in the band, uh, one time at Magfest, I think this was 2015. Um, he brought his N64 and he brought Mario 64, and he was like,
Mm.
"Yo, check this out!" And he showed me the first. It was the first time I ever saw BLJ. It's the first time I ever saw like the MIPS clip and stuff, and I was like, oh my god, like this is incredible. I didn't know you could do these things.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that was the first time. That wasn't the first time I'd seen speedrunning. I think the first time I saw speedrunning was probably it was probably like the Siglemic era, because that like in the early days of Twitch, that was dominating.
That was like the
And I
biggest
remember,
thing. He was like one of the first
yeah,
Twitch partners, if not the
yeah,
first.
yeah, and I felt like because like I jumped on Twitch a little bit late, but like as I was getting into it, I was like, okay, like who are some of the bigger creators on this platform? And yeah, I saw Siglemic, I saw the stuff he was doing in Mario 64, and I was like, wow, cool, that's impossible. And that was probably the first time I saw it, and I wrote it off as impossible. But then seeing Zach, my drummer, do it in front of me, it was kind of like, oh my god, no, these things are like possible. You just have to work work a little bit, and like you can do these things. And I think for a second, I had that honeymoon period of when I finally did like my first, MIPS clip or BLJ or whatever. Like I'm like, oh, like I can do this. But then you realize that the real challenge is consistency, and like
Yep.
being able to do all those tricks in a full run. And then I was very quickly humbled. Um, when I started kind of doing some of these Mario 64 tricks, um, I realized that um I had like a taste for the blood in the water of speedrunning. Like I realized like, ooh, I could get very addicted to this. Um and I kind of realized that like learning Mario 64, at least 16 star, was going to be a relatively easy thing to do. Um and so I actually ended up channeling my excitement for speedrunning into an incredibly hard run first. And that was Banjo-Kazooie 100%, which ended up being my first full run. Um,
Yeah, that's a
and
choice, all right. For the
it, it,
first.
it, it it's a choice of all time for sure.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I went for it. Like I approached it like I would learn a song. Um, shout outs to Smasher, who has tutorials on very it's very very old now. The run is completely different now, but and just kind of going through it like one level at a time and then just drilling a level. It was the same thing as like learn a riff, drill the riff until you got it, and then move on. Um, and I waited until I just kept doing that until I could just do the whole run. And then I did a surprise stream where I announced that I was going to be starting a Let's Play of Banjo Kazooie,
Mm,
and I beat it in one day.
that's fun.
It's like here's episode 1 Banjo Kazooie Let's Play or whatever, and like people are like immediately like they're like, Jules, you're speedrunning. Like we could see you literally hitting a button when you split, and I'm like, teehee, I don't know what you're talking about. It
Mm,
it, it, was- it was fun. But that was the beginning for me. It was and then I drilled Banjo Kazooie for a while. And once I burnt out on that, I then learned 16 star and
the rite of
eventually
passage.
yeah. Then learned 70 star because I pretty quickly saw what everybody was talking about, how it feels like 16 star you don't really play the game very much. It's a lot of glitching and stuff, whereas 70 star really feels like you're actually like learning segments and like and it also it's more consistent too because BLJs, especially in the beginning, it just feels like RNG. Um, even to this day, sometimes BLJs still feel like RNG, but
Yeah. I
uh,
think even the top players, they feel like it, even though technically it's not. But like, it is so
yeah,
hard to do it consistently.
yeah. I'm sure we'll talk about it, but when I did the guitar run,
Yeah.
um, I did actually do a deep dive on exactly what is happening um, with a BLJ, and I think it's actually like not 100% agreed on because I thought
Yeah.
I read a lot of differing opinions, so we're gonna need like a pen and Coic 6-hour video on it immediately.
I'll let them know.
But yeah, yeah, please.
Yeah.
He will get at least one viewer who watches through the whole thing. It'll be me. But I did I kind of and I during the showcase I very crudely uh with MS Paint tried to show my understanding of how a BLJ works. Like here are the frames that are going by. There needs to be an A press on this frame and also this frame. And as long as this frame was hit, you can technically get the first one on this frame and also this frame, but like aim for this frame and it's literally just like a stick figure with his ass out like going up the stairs and like um and that was like with all of the delays that were going on with playing a guitar, like a real guitar into something that would then read inputs that would then read N64 inputs that would then read Mario inputs. Like there is so many variables there that doing frame perfect tricks is actually becomes a matter of RNG again.
Yeah.
Because you're now dealing with polling and you're dealing with any possible variable that can happen between that many different interfaces. So, but yeah, rite of passage, I would say.
Yeah.
BLJ'd through it by starting with Banjo Kazooie, but then I was like, cool. I think I've earned my stripes. I'll do the basic bitch run, which it's still like I mean 60 stars hard.
Yeah,
Like
it is.
I feel like a lot of people kind of give it shit as like oh well you're not a real again back to the elitism, but like you're not a real Mario runner unless you do 70 star instead. It's like man if you can get a BLJ consistently like I respect the fuck out of you man. Like that I would say getting a consistent BLJ is harder than any single thing in 70 in at least a basic 70-star run where you're not doing like, super crazy clips or anything like that.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why it's one of the more popular speedruns, and so many people have like good times. It's
Yeah.
well, first of all, it's easy to get into, but it is hard, and there are a ton of different skill levels, and it really is just kind of
Yes.
perfect for it.
Yeah, and you don't have to do any particular run and still you can get very fast times.
Hmm.
Just deciding like what stars do you like? Like other games don't have that. Other games have there is one route. Like
Yeah.
like if you do anything else it's not going to happen, but um yeah, I love that about Mario. And I think that that's why it is so much more accessible.
Hmm. Well,
As you can see, I'm a big fan.
yeah, yeah, I don't know what that is, but
What do you mean? That's Mario.
yeah, just as I've always known.
This is it was a oh god. I think I can't remember where it is, but the story is there is a park where they had a bunch of ceramic animals the kids can climb up on.
Mm,
And eventually they realized, well, like the kids aren't playing on the animals anymore. What can we do to make them make them more fun to play on? And I guess their idea was, well, let's make them all Nintendo characters. So they had a koala and they just painted Mario over it,
that
and it is horrifying, and I love
so
it.
that's
It brings me
real.
joy. Oh, it's real. No,
Oh,
it
great.
exists in the real world.
Okay.
It's my sleep paralysis demon.
Okay. You learn something new every day, whether you want to or
It's
not.
exactly. Yeah, kicking and screaming. You learn you learn something every day. Yeah, for me I definitely like go very very hard on all the projects I do. So, went hard, burnt out on Banjo, went hard on Mario, burnt out on Mario, and then started just learning other runs and finding uh different fun ways to do them at a certain point, which is how I got into the guitar stuff.
Mhm. So, you're well, I guess I'm not entirely sure, but your primary stream content is speedrunning, right?
Uh, right now, I would say it's Archipelago.
Okay, but, like,
Um,
at one point.
at one point, for a long time, yeah. If you came to Twitch, I was speedrunning,
Mhm,
and if I was live, I was speedrunning something.
mhm. And
Um,
when you
Yeah,
started the banjo arc, when was that?
that would have been 2018,
Okay, so good while.
2017. I think it might have been 2016.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Um, yeah. So it was for definitely the better part of a decade. My Twitch was a speedrunning channel.
Well, you've been speedrunning longer than me, so I'd
Yeah.
personally say you've earned your place, but
Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, I I definitely I started doing music stuff. So like
Mhm.
in the early days I just kind of speed ran whatever it felt, Minecraft, Super
Yeah.
Meat Boy, you know. Um then eventually I was just like, okay, like there weren't a lot of niches on Twitch early on. You played video games, and if they weren't the video games that most people played, then you got no views,
Mhm.
essentially. But eventually I was like, okay, like I want to carve out maybe like a music thing on Twitch. So I really tried to I was probably not the first person to like stream music on Twitch, but I was doing it earlier than like Kyle Landry and stuff. Um who Kyle Landry was the pianist who exploded
Mhm.
on Twitch. But he was a YouTuber too, and I had known him for a while uh, from YouTube. Um, and the appeal of him was he could pretty much play anything.
Hmm.
When I was playing on Twitch, like I was playing a few of my select covers that I had practiced and knew how to play, but like I could not do requests.
Mhm.
Um, but eventually I started feeling this dread when I had to stream, so much so that I really didn't want to do it. Like I'd be like, all right, it's time for another music stream, and I realized it's because I'm literally working on music all day.
Mm.
I'm taking a break from music to do music again.
Hmm.
Um, and now we're in like 2015 or so. I fully live streamed the creation of my top 10 medleys back in 2015. Um, and that was more like music production. So like I would play the guitar and like record stuff, but I'd also show the process of like what I do to like mix it and all that stuff. Still, I was dreading it. I know I wasn't as effective. Um, and yeah, I think moving to speedrunning really kind of invigorated streaming for me because it was, again, as I said earlier, it was something that felt productive, and it wasn't music, and
Yeah.
yeah, I actually looked forward to streaming again, um, which is why my channel became a speedrun stream for a very short decade.
Very short.
Yeah.
So, how much did you branch out with your games?
Not very far outside N64. Um, but a lot of N64 games. So I ran let's see, 7016 on Mario 64. I'm currently learning 120, but very slowly.
That's a
I
process.
I hit HMC 100, and I'm like, oh god, and like everything online is like, no, don't. It's gonna be really like tempting to go the easy route, but please just learn this. I promise it's gonna be worth it. And I'm
Mhm.
like,
I know exactly what you
um,
mean. Mhm.
and yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with that. But Banjo Kazooie 100%. I never learned any percent because I was scared of Door of Grunty skip, dog skip. Um, that game has great acronyms. It's dog skip. There's boob skip, which is Brentilda out of bounds. It's a way to get to Furnace Fun early using the B, and you use Brentilda to push you, so it's boob, which is great. And then they have RBA, which is Reverse B Adventure,
Mm.
which you go through the entire Grunty's lair as B, uh, and get like a bunch of jiggies that you're not supposed to. And then they realize it's actually faster to go through, like, take a warp to the beginning of Grunty's lair and then go through it normally. So it became RRBA, which is reverse B adventure.
I love speedrunning.
So, yeah, it's so great. It's so good. Very very awesome. A very funny community. Asme and Duck, like all those guys, just lovely lovely people. And then so then I started doing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Gwished, the world record holder, was very supportive when I started. I definitely think there was kind of like if a big runner suddenly sees somebody is speed running the game that you have a world record in and they have a shit ton of viewers, you're like, uh-oh, like
Yeah.
what's going on here? Like so but I was obviously trash, and I was just happy that he was there. He was so fucking supportive. He helped get me to a place, and then it was kind of one of those, like, I was just trying to get a sub 20, and then when I did that I realized, oops, that's the world record for the N64 because nobody wants to play on that console. And then Bomberman 64 was a very painful one because that is essentially, like, so much of that run to be able to get a sub 25 is RNG. And I had a run that was so good, and it had RNG mistakes, and I got a 25-35 or something, and I was like, you know what, I'm good. That's fine.
Yeah.
Um, and then the last one for N64 I did is Ocarina of Time. So I spent the last year. I learned MST. I learned the wrong run because that was the tutorial I was watching on YouTube, and then I had to relearn the run.
Cool.
But it was cool. It was cool though because, like, I ended up learning a ton of backup strats.
Mm.
And the current MST run doesn't use bomb hovering, which I knew how to do, and I was like, oh, cool. Like, I know this. I know this cool strat. And again, the you know Arthur how the fuck do you say his last name? Ocarina of Time is dominated by the French right now. I don't know how it's all it's crazy, but Houdini, I think it's just Arthur Houdini. He's gonna get if he ever sees this, he'll get super annoyed. But insanely supportive. He would call me up on Discord and walk me through, like, Jabu Wrong Warp and all this stuff. It's just so supportive. Everybody in that community that came through. Um,
Yeah.
just
That's the one thing about speedrunning is everyone is eager to help other people learn.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's music's not like
Yeah.
that.
Or at least we have our differences, I guess.
Yeah. Everyone's like, "Oh, you're trying to sweep pick? That sucks. You'll never do it, kid. Give up. Throw your guitars away."
Jesus Christ.
No, well, it's hard because with guitar teaching, which I have done, it's very hard, like, to teach somebody without literally taking their hands and being like, no, it has to be like, like, with speed running, like, I think it's a little bit easier because you can have an input display and you're just like, all right, well, as long as I mean, unless it's like a weird claw grip, as long as I just press the button the right way, then I'm good. But no, guitar. I think the elitism and stuff, and now it's so saturated with tutorials online. I mean, everyone's got a course that you have to pay $20 a month to be in. And um, I have opinions.
Yeah.
But like, it's. I do think it's challenging. But I don't actually think there's a lot of differences between learning speedrunning and learning guitar because it sucks.
Yeah.
It's very hard.
It's just
And
probably easier and cheaper to learn speedrunning.
yeah, but, like, then I would argue the psychic damage of comparing yourself to other runners
Mm.
is a little bit harder than the psychic damage from comparing yourself against other guitarists.
But that's
As lo-
also subjective.
Exactly, yeah. So I definitely think there's a lot of like, at least I like drawing the parallels.
Yeah, yeah.
But I I don't know. I guess typically you don't bleed when you're learning a speed run.
No.
Like I remember, well,
There are some.
yeah, that's true. But no, I mean guitar, man. I used to practice like because you have to build up calluses and stuff. Like
Mm.
I used to just hold those frets down until I bled. Like apparently I wanted it bad, but
If you're not bleeding, you're
yeah.
not trying hard enough.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. That's 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 what should be like the tagline at the end of that whole like, elitism is really really bad, and we should really like kind of be more supporting and not gatekeeping. Also, if you're not bleeding, go just give up. Like-
Great.
No, I mean it's that when it comes to getting good at something, and I think music and speedrunning are absolutely parallel on this of like the feeling of like um it feels super impossible at the beginning and how much practice you have to put in is just otherworldly, inhuman. There is kind of a point where, and maybe this is elitist of me, that I kind of say like, if practicing this thing is literally the worst thing in the world, maybe don't do it.
Yeah.
Maybe give up, because like I'll say like, when I learned when I was learning to play guitar, I loved playing scales. I loved like having a metronome open. I loved the clicks. I loved getting that like a little bit faster every time. And like I loved that process. But there
Mhm.
are people that cannot stand that process. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Like you could also love other processes. Maybe you just love going out and improvising and you can just play, but there's some people that don't love either of those things.
Mhm.
So what about, do you like writing music? And they're like, no. It's like, have you tried basketball? Like, like at a certain point, it's like, like if this is gonna be so awful for you, yeah, like maybe this isn't the right thing for you. But if you can like you can make practice fun. If you can't make practice fun, maybe dopamine's gonna hit somewhere else. You
Yeah.
know.
It's important to
But
enjoy what you're doing.
for me, the process of it really does feel like a Super Meat Boy. Like you fail and then immediately start over, fail, immediately start over. Like just trying to get that one trick is intoxicating.
Yeah.
Like it is a flow state. It is so nice, and I'm sure you feel that
Mm.
too. Um, there are some people that cannot stand that.
Yeah.
It's possible. Give up
What?
if that's the case.
You mean people don't like playing 1-1 for the 25,000th time in a row?
No.
No? Oh,
No,
well.
no, not no. Yeah, oh, yeah, oh well. But there is ways to like for me it's like if I have to learn a Mario 64 trick, I could start the game up and go all the way to that point every single time to make sure that like, okay, it's not just the trick, it's everything else leading up to that point. It's not a very efficient way to practice, like it'd
Mhm.
be better if you could just make a save state at the beginning of the level, or, maybe make a save state right before the hardest part of the trick. There are options, there are different ways that you can practice anything. And it's important to explore those, because if you abhor, absolutely cannot stand a certain way of practicing, you don't have to, that's not the only way,
Mhm.
And I think for me, I found fun ways to practice speedrunning, fun ways to practice guitar, and I just did it for long enough that I accidentally got good. And
I don't think there's
most
anything
people
accidental about that.
right, but it feels
I
accidental because you
guess,
never
but
really know you never notice when that like the switch is hit. You know, that like,
okay.
oh wait, suddenly I'm good at this. Like you don't get a letter in the mail, you know? Like you
Yeah.
feel like you should. You feel like there should be like a certificate of like, okay, you're a Mario master now. You know, but like that never comes.
No.
Eventually you just realize like, oh, okay, some of these things that are hard for other people are okay, a little bit easier for me.
Mhm. No,
Cool,
yeah,
you
I get
know?
that.
Yeah, it's the same thing with guitar. Like I thought I was garbage at guitar for so long, and like it wasn't until I realized like I don't know. I just realized I was like, okay, some of these things are just objectively easier for me to do than somebody who's never played a guitar before. I think it's okay to say that, like I'm okay at guitar. Um, but yeah, I think you know for a lot of people that's imposter syndrome. For other
Mhm.
people, it's you know like
Self-critiquing.
act yeah maybe act more confident than you actually are. You know, dress for the job you want, kind of a thing.
Ah,
Um,
fake
it's
yourself out.
different for yeah, or yeah, or lie to yourself.
Yeah.
Just completely keeps telling yourself you know, I think there's a lot of people who could benefit if they just felt super like insecure about something, about being good at something. Just go into the mirror and just, you know, tell yourself that you're the best, you know, at that in the world every day. And I guarantee you 30 days into doing that, you're gonna have to start humbling yourself because you're
Mhm.
you're really full of yourself now.
Yeah.
Um, where yeah, I think there's definitely like when you do something that's so prone to failure, which speedrun is,
Mm.
when you speedrun, you fail a lot.
That reset button gets
Um,
some use. Mm.
yeah, more use than my A button sometimes.
Yeah.
I I think you do a number on your brain when you fail that many times, even if you feel like you've gotten used to it,
Mhm.
you know, because it's hard to keep going when you keep falling over, you know, just because you can get back up doesn't mean it's always going to be as easy to get back up every single time.
Mhm.
Um, and I think that's kind of what that's one of those things that I think separates the people who get really, really good at anything is um, the joy of just doing it, not this feeling of one day I'm gonna get this minute and everything's gonna be amazing and I'm gonna live forever and be
Mhm.
happy forever. It's just the love of doing the thing, and then
The journey, not the
and
destination.
literally,
Yeah.
and everyone I know who's like obnoxiously good at things loved the process of practicing it,
Mhm.
and that's really what I think the secret is.
Yeah.
Um,
It's funny because Mario 64 is like a game that I think I like practicing more than running, actually.
yeah,
There's
no,
something,
absolutely,
yeah.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, there's just something about moving him and not having to worry about watching the intro for the 10,000th time. I don't
I
know, it's
know.
pretty nice.
Oh
Yeah, but
man, I think I since I played banjo, I think they finally or once I started running Ocarina of Time, it was pretty recent that they allowed you to play from a save game that skipped
mm,
the intro.
yeah.
Um,
I know that was
for
a big
to
deal for Sunshine, but that one's like
yeah.
5.5 minutes. So
Oh god,
I can't
yeah.
imagine.
I mean, I used to watch Clint Stevens, and feel like I spent most of the time watching the intro cutscene. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. It is what it is.
how have you noted? Because like a bunch of different communities will do different things when there's kind of a crossroads at a decision for rules for the leaderboard.
Yeah.
Um, I just what have you? Because I only know the communities that I've seen, and
hmm
I have opinions. But how have How have you seen that dealt with?
Well, the community I am in is like hella rule drama right now to the point where I left moderation duties.
Oh,
So
wow.
I don't, but I don't know. It's hard, and every community, every game needs to handle it differently for what's best for them. Um, and part of it should be like a community, what the community wants, but also part of it should be the people that know what they're talking about. I don't
Right.
know. It's a weird balance to find, but like everyone's voice matters, but also you have to find a nice sweet spot to where, like it's what's best for the community and the game. I don't know. It's really
That's the
hard, and it's very
that's
community
the
based.
that's the rub right there. Is I think because like I remember there was so Banjo Kazooie has a widely accepted glitch for the run called Furnace Fun Moves.
Hmm.
Um, if you die in a very specific way on a file that has moves, your next game will have those moves from the other save.
Hmm.
Um, has something to do with you have to warp to another area, um, like during Furnace Fun, which is the quiz show. And then if you die inside of that mini game, I think it's a very unique situation that then carries over to other save games. Um, there was there was a vote on whether or not that should be allowed in 100%, and it was considered allowed because I guess technically somebody could accidentally do that and not
Yeah,
intend to.
technically, I
Uh,
guess.
technically, yeah, but that was so that was allowed for a long time.
Hmm.
Now it seems like no FFM 100% is really popping off in the banjo community, which it kind of makes me want to jump back in because
Yeah.
it might be fun. But the there was a vote for using an EverDrive because the setup for Furnace Fun Moves is every run you have to go to that save file, go to Furnace Fun, and die in that die
Mm,
in during a mini game,
I see.
and it took forever.
Yeah.
Every time you wanted to start a new run, you had to do that, and the amount of time it saved was inarguable. Like you have to learn all that shit.
Hmm.
Or, talk to Bottles, who's the biggest cuck in video games. Um, the the community was kind of torn on should EverDrive runs be okay because you can just save state that, and
Hmm.
then you would not have to do the Furnace Fun moves every single time. And it's tough because it's like, yeah, we'll get so many more runs in. We'll probably find way more things way faster if people can do more runs. We'll push the limits even further, but people might cheat,
Hmm.
and it would be very hard to catch if EverDrives are just okay.
Yeah.
Um, so it was brought up to a vote, and I remember, so I was out of the community at this point. But because so what they said is, you were talking about uh the rules have to be by people who know the game, right? Like you can't just
Yeah.
have anybody come in and be like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Game Sharks are great for Mario. They should be allowed for
Hmm.
like, and people will. So I remember Banjo did something where they went with the, I think everybody who had a 100, like within the 100% category could vote. So like you had to have a run on the leaderboard
Hmm.
above a certain point, I think. And I was on there, but I hadn't run Banjo in a long time. And I remember people saw that I was one of the people that was voting for it, and they're like, I don't think they knew who I was, but they're like, they used me as an example. They were like, "Who the hell is FamilyJules? Like, he hasn't run this game in like whatever." I'm just like, yeah, but I can have an opinion on this,
Yeah.
like. But because it's tough, because there is something valid about that. It's like, well, this is a current thing. This is not going to affect him if he
Mhm.
never plays banjo ever again. So why should his vote count towards everybody else who does?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's so complicated.
It
Like, how
is.
do you deal with that?
And there's really
The
no
yeah.
winning either. It
No,
That's
no.
the problem. Someone will be pissed off with how something's
Yep,
handled,
always.
which is again why I kind of left moderation duties because it's a thankless job that
Oh yeah.
only people complain about. So,
If you're doing well, nobody thanks you. If you're doing horrible, or you make one mistake, I should
yeah,
say,
everyone knows.
it's everyone knows, and it was
Yeah.
a huge blight on the entire mod team.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm not into that anymore.
yeah, I mean, I can, but
Yeah, so imagine
I,
that but with Mario 1.
oh god, I can't
Uh-huh,
even just
so
no. I understand.
that was my life.
Oh no,
Uh-huh.
you poor soul. God.
And yeah, with
Um,
everything that's going on in like current day right now, which I won't get into, it is a mess that I don't envy any of the people currently in positions of power right now. So,
I'm morbidly curious, but
eh,
I'm sure I'll hear I'm sure I'll hear it through some, you know,
yeah.
awful sponsored YouTube video at some
Oh yeah.
point. So
No, they
that's
exist. There are some
oh,
good
I
ones
know.
that aren't sponsored, but there are, yeah,
But
there's also exactly what
there are
you're
good ones
talking
that are
about.
sponsored, but
Yeah.
yeah, this
Uh,
speedrun drama is funny. Okay, so
yeah.
I think that the on that topic, so something I've been very focused on these days is Archipelago.
Yes.
Um, for those that don't know, Archipelago is it's a multi-world randomizer. So the idea is not just the games in your game are randomized, but you and your friends' games are randomized amongst each other. So
Hmm.
your hook shot might be in, you know, Joe's Mario 64 game, you
Hmm.
know, like it, and that's the only place you can get it.
Yep.
So like absolutely amazing system. I've been in love with it since I discovered it like 3 years ago. Um, so much so that it inspired me to straight up learn Python from scratch
Mm.
so that I could
Wow.
eventually help out with creating AP worlds and stuff like that, which I did. And now I
Wow.
am developing AP worlds,
That's
which is
crazy.
funny. It's
Jeez.
it's insane. I'm currently lead developing the GoldenEye AP,
Nah, okay.
and it's been fun because I can still be a little shit and make really cursed stuff. The GoldenEye client.py has just an ASCII art of Bond's face stretched out like Mario. Just like it's the first thing you see when you open it up, just to so everyone knows that the person who's making this AP is very, very not well.
Mm, I get
Very,
it.
very, yeah, no, but it's fun and just being able to kind of like dig my teeth into something like that because that's something that always felt impossible to me. That always felt like magic. An archipelago from like the point of view of not knowing any programming whatsoever,
Yeah, wow.
sorcery. Like there's like it's unfathomable how it even works at that point.
As a computer
Um,
science dropout,
I I have a
hard.
lot of I have a lot of people who finish their computer science degrees, and since I started learning Python and started working on AP worlds and stuff, a lot of them are just like, "Congratulations, you've done more projects than I have since graduating with a
That
computer
sounds about
science
right.
degree."
Yep.
Yeah, but like I'm just it's like I went into it with a goal,
Mm.
you know, and I think that was I'll be elitist about education for a second. I think you really get the most out of an education if you have a very, very solid goal that you're going to just like for music. I had already started seeing success in my YouTube channel before I went to music school. Like,
Wow.
um, but I was really kind of just like, This is gonna be bad. I don't even know what a seventh chord is. Like, I don't know, you know, like I need to probably figure out a lot of this stuff if this is gonna be my career. So I went to school to make sure that the career that I already had was solidified, you know, and I was uh, knowledgeable. You know, that's all I wanted. Was I just and because of that, what grade I got didn't matter.
Hmm.
Like whether or not I got a degree didn't matter. Like I was injecting knowledge into my brain. That was the whole point of it, and it was all going to benefit my career. Um, you know, learning Python and now JavaScript. Jesus, fuck that language.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Uh-huh.
this is something that like it's been fun because I think a lot of people are having that like, you know, the people, you know, getting into One Piece, you know, because of the Netflix show, or just getting to things that people who are, you know, caught up are like, oh, like, I remember when I was there. Like, that's me with JavaScript. I'm like, wow, this sucks. And like, everyone else is like,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah. One of my most unhinged ideas was uh I really wanted. Are you familiar with the edutainment video game Hungry Pumpkin?
God, no. What?
There was a time on YouTube where it was this meme because it's very weird. It's very cursed. Um and it's just a pumpkin who walks in and he says, "I'm very hungry." It's like a flash game, like
Okay.
2008. And then you go up to the table and he says, you know, "Give me the chicken," and then you have to just select the chicken, and then you give it to him, and he go, num 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 num, and then he just keeps asking for things, and that's it. That's the
Okay.
whole video game.
Great.
He get and then like they didn't finish it. The only way you can play the game is you have to like right click the flash thing and then go down and hit like next so that it actually
Mm.
goes to the next scene. Um and then eventually like like I think he the most disturbing thing is like they coded it so that he gets bigger by like a cent like a pixel
Okay.
every time he eats something. And you're supposed to be able to finish at a certain point, but that was broken.
Mhm.
So you have to then hit next again and then he'll be like, okay, bye, and like leave essentially. But you can pretty much infinitely feed him and he just gets infinitely wider. It's so
Okay.
weird. It's so cursed, and the voice lines are just iconic. Anyway, love Hungry Pumpkin. Love that guy. Uh
Okay.
I wanted to figure out a way to make this game is a loose, you know, game with quotation marks and an asterisk. I wanted to find a way to make this for Archipelago.
I was wondering where this was
Um,
going. Okay.
yeah, yeah. We will always come full circle, I promise.
Okay, okay, okay.
Um, so I Flash is dead, unfortunately.
R.I.P., yeah.
Um, yeah, and so I had to find the assets, and I was just like, well, how do I how do I put this game back together? You know, because there was a lot of assets like Internet Archive and stuff like that. And I was thinking like, okay, well, the best way if I have Archipelago in mind, I guess I have to learn JavaScript
Mm,
because that's going to be the easiest way to make a web app. And every other like so I started playing around with Phaser, and that's kind of how I got my toes wet with JavaScript. But I recompiled the entirety of and when I say recompiled, it sounds like this grand project with like a percentage meter and no. I put the assets in into a folder and I moved stuff around, I got it working and then I added AP support. Um it was a weekend project
mm,
essentially. Um but it was cursed enough and I think I posted it on the archipelago thing. I was like, here you go. Here's an archipelago world for Hungry Pumpkin. And that was another case of just like, at first, I was like I was extremely surprised that Hungry Pumpkin got an AP World, but then I was even more surprised at who made it.
Mm.
like like what? FamilyJules from YouTube, like the guitar guy made Hungry Pumpkin Archipelago. like very weird. But I no, I love making or I love playing archipelagos and playing it. I think everybody has that feeling of like, man, I wish this game was in it,
Hmm.
and sometimes it is. Uh,
Just not
like
on the
sometimes
main
it's
page. Yeah,
exactly, yeah.
it's a little hidden in
Um,
the trenches.
but I think I saw how many people were developers. That like it's a staggering number of people developing AP worlds
Hmm.
because you don't have to like apply for anything. You just say like, "Oh, I'm gonna make an AP world for this game," and I was like, "Wow, like that's crazy." You know, again, maybe I'm just addicted to finding these things that seem impossible, that seem like sorcery, and just tell myself, well, you know what? I'm gonna be really bad at it in the beginning, but that's the first step to being really good at it someday. Um, it, and that's where I'm at. I'm really bad at it, but I'm working on
Yeah,
it.
like most
um,
things.
like most things, like speedrunning,
Hmm.
like guitar. Told you it would come full
Yeah, no,
circle.
no, I get it now. I get
Uh,
it. Hey, this show runs on tangents. I've always said it, but
hell yeah, that's the.
sometimes you just gotta wonder how you got there.
Mm-hmm. I think all of the I right after COVID, I took improv classes, and ever since then, I've gotten really good at uh, never leaving a loop untied. But I have gotten way worse at being tangential and like just going off on like things. But eventually, I bring it back. Um,
I'm impressed.
but
Don't worry.
I'm not. I'm
Okay,
actually
well,
I'm disappointed in myself.
well, you're as we've been saying, you're always your own worst critic. So I guess that comes full circle
It's
too, huh?
yeah, it does. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been really focused on right now is I just think Archipelago is an amazing thing. It
Hmm.
brings people it it's a new reason to play games with your friends and sometimes with yourself again,
Yeah,
It's
everyone's
it's
doing it. That's for sure.
yeah, and it seems to be getting more and more popular, which is cool.
Yeah. I've
Um
done like it with one other person a couple times and I really like it, but I don't know. Maybe I just don't know where to go or who to talk to, but I don't know. Haven't been able to do it much more than that.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing with like a D&D game or trying to play Among Us. Like you have to like
Yeah.
really line up schedules and then
Hmm.
God forbid you decide to take a break, you're never coming back. Like you're never going to be able to find
Infinite
a time
BK
like
mode.
yes, unless you're doing like a free async with a bunch of people who won't forget that the archipelago is still going on.
Mm,
It will never get finished.
yeah.
I have plenty of archipelagos that I am forever BK'd. Some that are other people are forever BK'd because I forgot about them. Um, but I think as time goes on, I think it's going to be easier. My community has just like a just monthly. They just get together and they do archipelagos together, which is cool. Sometimes I jump in.
No.
Um, and the actual archipelago Discord, they have plenty of groups and looking for archipelagos with other people. I'm sure people are meeting their significant others through doing archipelagos at this point. It's a cool it's a cool system.
Yeah. I'm definitely very interested in it. I just haven't done it much, but it's such a cool concept.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
Um.
fun to watch, so fun to play.
I
Because
that's the thing. Fun to watch. I'm not sure because I've
I've
had a
enjoyed it.
very hard. Yeah, that's good to hear because I've really like I feel like I struggle um to find ways to make Archipelago watchable
I see.
without doing the most unwatchable thing. which is put all the screens on one
I
screen,
I think
and you
that
just
shit's
don't even know what to look at.
hilarious. Yeah,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
people do a solo archipelago 6 games and all 5 that aren't being played right now are just tiny screens at the bottom, like, "This is where I am right." It's funny. There's something funny about that
Yeah,
game.
and it's interesting. It's funny and interesting for sure. There's just paused on like the worst possible place. It's just like, yep, BK'd.
But yeah, I
Yeah,
do think the
I
most fun is when it's multiple people and you can watch all of their perspectives at once. That's what's really engaging
yeah.
to me.
Something I've been really wanting to do is like, um, apparently Twitch's API is horrible.
Yeah.
Um, and but I have thought about like, man, it'd be so cool if you could make like an archipelago extension
Mm.
to like kind of be able to like, you don't always need to see, what, you know Kingdom Hearts 2 is doing, but if like you wanted to quickly be like, oh cool, like let me see. Like I think like if the user could quickly like go and see like how another game is doing, like that could be really really cool. But
Yeah.
I'm not the programmer for that job yet, but maybe one day.
Maybe someday. Well, um, I think it's finally time. We talked a lot about
Yeah.
Mario and guitar. I think it's time we finally dive into combining the two.
Looks like I gotta go.
Okay, well, we had a good run.
Yeah. I actually hold on. Let me stretch because this will be a
Yeah,
long one.
yeah, but I'll start by saying I've been watching CZR for a while. I've seen like almost
Oh
all of his
yeah.
live performances at this point because he just happens to do them at the same events I'm at. So I've been following him for a while, and you don't really see a lot of people do um, instrument speed runs. There's been a
For sure.
few, like Dr. Doot in the saxophone, CZR on the drums, Peking Boo with the dance pad. Not quite an instrument, but
Yeah.
still interesting. But
Yeah.
guitar, maybe like clone. I've seen people do like Clone Hero guitar, but never
Yep.
the real deal. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
I
time.
think that's kind of always like when somebody does, I think most popular simple flips did a Guitar Hero controller um uh Mario 64 run.
Mm.
But you always see the chat, so it's just like, okay, now do a real guitar,
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
Every
and,
Clone
and I
Hero
think that
stream ever. Yeah.
yeah, literally, yeah, like you know, I haven't talked to him forever, but I talked a lot to Jason Paradise.
Yeah.
And he he was always like, he always had all of his guitars ready. So when somebody in his chat said like, "Oh, but can you do it with a real guitar?" He'd pull like 3 Schecters out and be like, "Yes, okay," like, leave me alone. Um, I There was part of me that really kind of wanted to see like, okay, is this possible? And I think I always just had it in the back of my head, and it immediately occurred to me when I first saw um Abject, I think it's called. Let me confirm. Uh Abject Audio Inputs by Abject. Yes. It's just like it's a small like utility that converts audio input into computer input. Um, and people were using that to play video games and stuff, and do probably not what it was originally. Maybe it was originally intended for games. I don't know, but I was like, that's really cool. Like, that's the way that I'm going to be able to do it. The problem was, uh, it has to be a monophonic signal, essentially one note at a time. You
Mm.
can't play chords. You can't, like, if you were to play 2 notes at the same time, it's not gonna react as uh 2 buttons at the same time. And you need to hit at least 2 buttons to do most of Mario 64 tricks.
Mhm.
So, there was part of me that was like trying to like kind of get around it, like where um like playing I can't even remember at this point how I was able to do it, but this was back in probably 2021, I think, is when I first started messing around with this. Um, and I remember I got fairly far. Um, I remember I did a bunch of runs. I practiced a few stars and stuff, and I remember I got to Bowser 2, Bowser in the Fire Sea, and I beat him, and I walked off the edge
Mm.
after I beat him, and I was just like, I'm good. I'm done. It was so. It was just like a full culmination of just constant trying to wrap my head around. Okay, if I need to go forward, I need to play this note. I if I need to like do this jump, I need to go forward. Like it was so much mental gymnastics the whole time that at the point where I literally just pressed the wrong button and walked off the edge, I was like, I can't anymore. My brain is just fried. Um, and I kind of shelved it. But I was like, okay, one day we'll figure it out. I still have no idea how we're gonna do BLJs. It might just have to be a 70-star run because I think it's just too impossible. But I was seeing CZR pull it off because he was the benefit of drums is you can have multiple inputs. You
Mhm.
know, you just because it's going straight MIDI to a program called Bohm, and then Bohm is turning the inputs into controller inputs.
Mhm.
Uh, and now I think he has a system where he can do it on hardware, which that's
Yes.
my goal too,
Mhm.
eventually. But I think it would be a little bit tougher. I would have to.
Yeah, his
Eh,
setup is crazy. I remember them setting it up for I think it was HDQ 2024. And
yeah.
I saw him do it at like paces, which were a little more unprofessional with their setup, but them trying to like
Hmm.
professionally set it up on GDQ was like, oh my god, because yeah, it was original hardware.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That is crazy. I would definitely have to m- make some Frankenstein stuff to make that work. But the big thing that got me back to it is Fishman developed a product called the Triple Play. And the appeal of the Triple Play was that every string is being individually picked up.
Mm,
So the appeal for a lot of people is like, oh, now if I'm trying to like write music, I can convert an actual chord on the guitar into the computer by playing the whole chord and not just playing every note individually. Um, and it's accurate because before there were polyphonic, more notes than one, uh, audio to MIDI converters, but they were not accurate, and they couldn't be. I mean, it's picking up frequencies, and then you know, uh, different octaves have different overtones, and everything gets really really messy really quick. The triple play was just literally it's six inputs, all individually picking up a string, so it was very accurate. And that when I saw that, I was like, okay, that might be the answer, and it was. So using the triple play, and do I even? Yeah, I got it right here.
live demonstration.
So it's a it attaches using like command strip,
Mhm.
so like it doesn't damage the guitar at all, but it's firmly there. It can pop off at any point
Wow.
and just all come off, and it doesn't affect the guitar. The thing is still there, so if I want to put it back on whenever I can. It just goes out USB-C straight to the computer, and you can see each of these little notches are for every individual string, and it's reading all of them. And it has its own kind of like proprietary software that you can kind of tweak and get the sensitivity just right for your guitar. But this thing can work on any guitar, which is cool. You know, it doesn't
Mhm.
have to be this special guitar. I'm sure they have like guitars that are designed to be MIDI guitars. Those are probably like perfect.
Maybe.
I just don't want to buy them
Yeah.
because that's the only they're expensive and that's the only thing I would use.
Yeah, it's nice being able to own what you already or use what you already own.
Right, exactly. So that's so the triple play. Going to Bohm, going to BizHawk. I made a Lua script that just creates a little input display, not only for streaming but for me because sometimes like I'll feel like I play a note, but the note doesn't actually convert to a button press. So it's kind of 50% so people can see what notes when I play what note, what button is being pressed, but also it's a debug for me.
Mhm.
Um, so once that was implemented, BLJs were suddenly way more possible. Still basically impossible, but possible.
Yeah. And then it worked.
Yeah, there was a lot of nervousness about it. I had done a few streams. I was able to get through the run. It took me, about an hour to get through a 16-star run. Um, but I was able to kind of pull off a lot of the tricks. Um, and I was starting to feel like, okay, this is definitely possible. Like like if I practice it enough, I could get a lot of these consistent. Like I was able to pull off like, bomb clip and bomb battlefield, and
Which is already crazy.
it's insane.
Yeah.
I got owlless with it,
Oh my
and I like
god.
all these, yeah, like
Okay.
I was just like, this is crazy. Like this is totally, you know, like if I can't do this, this is obviously a skill issue.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
but as I was starting to dig into like what makes a BLJ actually work and stuff like that, I was realizing like there once we start getting to those really frame perfect tricks, there are variables that are out of my control still just because of the variables between all these different interfaces and stuff. Um so I remember Amber reached out to me and was like, "Yeah, like I want to have you on this showcase." And uh I was like, "Yeah, like I mean by the time we do that, like I'll be amazing at this. There's no, like I can't really do it right now, but by then I'll I'll definitely have it." And then it started getting closer. I started streaming it a little bit and I started realizing, no, there is a wall. This may not be as easy to get consistent as I thought.
Was it a wall or
And
was it a staircase?
well, it was first a staircase and then a wall.
Okay. I guess that is the layout. Anyway.
Yeah, but then there's a staircase and a hole, so it's
Mm.
very complicated. There's a long process.
Yes.
The yeah, I felt I knew what I had to do, but it wasn't working every time. Uh, and once it started getting close to the time, and I was having trouble even getting it in under an hour consistently, I was telling Amber, I don't I don't know if I can do it. Like, and I feel bad because like I told you, like, yeah, it'll be fine, whatever. But I was messaging them constantly before it just being like, all right, here's where I'm at. Like I mean, once I'm sure, the moment I'm feeling more sure about this is the moment you'll know too. Um, but it was nerve wracking, and what I found because it was driving me so crazy that I developed a way to send MIDI input in through Bohm from my digital audio workstation, which is Cubase. So I would be able to write what I would play on the guitar, ideally, and then that would go to Bohm, which would then go to BizHawk in exactly the same way. So to kind of to simulate, this is this is like my ideal thing that I would play, and then I can replay it.
Hmm.
I made a TAS.
Yeah.
Like essentially I made a musical TAS, which is cool. Which is
Yeah.
sick, but it was like it was a necessity. It was a cool thing that came out of a necessity that I was like, why does this feel so inconsistent? And sure enough, when I had exactly and I could like adjust the tempo, I could move notes around, much easier than actually using like TAS was it TAS Studio and BizHawk?
Yeah,
Um
I've never used it.
it's a whole other skill set.
Oh, yeah.
I I I used it on Pokemon when I ran Pokemon Red, but I don't talk about that one.
Okay.
The
Cool.
yeah, the MIDI I was able to kind of put exactly thank you in Test Studio. I could put exactly the notes that I had that I wanted to play and send it. And sure enough, it was not consistent. The same exact inputs were producing different results.
Hmm.
And the reason was we're talking about, frame perfect movement after uh you know, potential Cubase delay, potential Bohm delay, potential BizHawk delay. Three different variables that are as opposed to input to BizHawk, like which even then it doesn't feel the same as just an N64 where all the copper is just going straight to Mario, like the ones and zeros are going straight into his ass. Like there's no possible variables that can really now there are all of these things that are like yeah, that delay could be introduced, and that confirmed it. I was like, okay, it's this is no longer a skill issue. Thank God. Uh, I can play this perfectly, and it can still not work. Um, and I could get it to a place where it worked most of the time. I remember I was able to like find exactly the tempo, exactly the inputs, and it would work most of the time. Um, and I practiced it just like a guitar, just like a song. I had a metronome up. I built up my speed. I went a little bit past it, which is usually what I'll do. If there's a solo I'm learning, I try to learn it faster than I need to play it. I did the same exact thing with the backwards long jump in Mario 64. Um, and uh it was still inconsistent. It was still like I
Yeah.
was still like, oh no, it could just not happen. So I ended up kind of saying like because GDQ doesn't really want to have like like save states and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Amber was kind of wondering, how can we get around that? Like how can we make sure that you get to the end? Um, and we kind of settled on I'm going to try it and we're going to see if it works. And if I fail it for like 2 minutes, then I'm actually going to route the MIDI thing right to Mario. So that then I hit a space bar, I know I'm putting the right input, it will work, eventually. If it doesn't work the first time, it'll work the second or the third time.
Mm.
Um uh Yeah. Um, and then in the case that even that doesn't work, which is a possibility, I would also have a save that, it just did 70 star and then I would finish the rest of the run with the guitar.
Mhm.
Um, and it worked.
Yeah.
And when I was on the showcase, I just gave it a few tries and it just worked.
Yeah.
And I was like, of course. It's always the things that you're over prepared for that you would have been fine if you under prepared. But if
Yeah.
you under prepare, it will get you.
Better safe than sorry. It's almost like,
Confirmation
yeah.
bias. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, emulators aren't a big deal, especially on hotfixes, but definitely like save states and stuff. Um,
Yeah.
but like sometimes you have to do it, especially for like these kind of runs. Like, did you see the dog from GDQ?
I I am so inspired by peanut butter.
That's
I
great.
like it's I have a dog as well. Her name is Yuna. Um she does not have the brain cells to play video games. God bless that dog. Uh very dumb and I love her.
Peanut butter.
Um and peanut butter is a very very smart dog
Oh
and
yeah,
I I would love if I could teach Yuna. Oh, there we go.
yeah,
Oh, peanut butter. Yeah, I'm a little bit delayed, but
yeah. That's fine.
uh, I have had a hard time getting Yuna to even press a button. Like I got the dog buttons that everyone is like, oh, like you can tell the dog when like it wants to walk or it wants to, whatever. She we got to the point where like we could tell her like okay button and I felt like it was weird because when I would say button I felt like it was the peanut butter run, like because
Yeah,
that's
button.
that's what he said. He's a button and oh man, maybe like I can do this. And then I set the button to the side and started trying to transfer to like okay, when you press the button I don't give you a treat anymore, now we go for a walk. And now she just never presses it.
Mm,
She got confused. She was like, I don't understand this anymore.
yeah,
Like, so I don't know. One brain cell, but it's a lovely, adorable brain cell.
but yeah. I remember I had JSR on my show because, I've been doing
Mm,
this for 3.5 years now. He was one of the early ones, and I remember him telling me about this cool idea he has for GDQ.
that's
Boy, did that work
awesome.
out.
Yeah, it did. No,
um,
that's awesome.
anyway, I was bringing this up because that was definitely done with like, weird controller, and it was tied into an emulator, not a real console, but they had that on the main
Hmm.
stage. And I know this because at some point it got fucked up, the screen got fucked up and it showed the emulator window and everyone was like, "Oh no. Oh
Oh
no."
no!
But
Oh
if they
god!
have to, they will use it. So, like
Yeah,
it's not a
I mean
huge deal, but like you can't CCR got it working. So like it is
it's
possible.
a I think it's a showcase. Like
Mhm.
we're not the NBA checking for the exact PSI of a basketball, where it's where you're trying to just get money for charity. You don't want to get sued. That
No.
makes sense.
Mhm.
So as long as there's at least a desire and a very valiant effort to make sure things aren't illegal, and that's the best you can do. So
Yeah.
I, so I respect it.
At least the media didn't cover that part, so it's fine. But like,
Yeah.
if you're suing people over emulating Ken Griffey Jr.'s Major League Baseball for the Super Nintendo, I think you have bigger problems. So,
Yes. It's so this is going to sound like a tangent, but it is absolutely related.
mm.
Um I so bring it back to Hungry Pumpkin.
Okay, great.
My my love,
Mm.
my dear Hungry Pumpkin. Um, it was put on the archipelago. And this is drama. I'm giving you tea right now.
Okay, great. I
It
love
was
drama.
yeah. We should get this sponsored.
Historically, I love drama.
The
Anyway.
let it be known. Let it be known on the Wikipedia. Um, uh, so the um the Hungry Pumpkin Archipelago AP World. I posted. It got pushed. Everyone was like, "What the hell is the doorbell guy doing making AP Worlds,
Great.
etc." Normal shit. Um, and eventually it got taken down
Mm.
for distributing pirated assets.
Interesting.
Interesting, right?
Mhm.
Because but the rabbit hole went deeper at
Right.
first, and I know you die He's the main Discord mod for the Archipelago server. Um, he's wonderful. I loved him. Playing lots of Archipelagos. We're both into factory games, so it works very well. Um, and I got a little bit of through the grapevine warnings that it was going to happen.
Mm.
And there's part of me that like I don't care. It's like it's Hungry Pump. It's literally just a dumb game, you know. Like, I think, and he was like, he was so not. He was like, all right, well, like we're trying to come to a decision on this. And I'll tell you what, like where the rub was, but uh, he was like, I like, don't worry, like we're gonna have it figured out. I'm like, bro, I don't care. I made this in a weekend. Like it's if it gets taken off, so be it. Whatever. That was fun. Moving on.
Mhm.
Um, but I uh and I'm sure as a former very popular Discord server mod, you would hopefully appreciate this. Um on the message that said this has been locked, somebody wrote out in in the emojis 1984 on the Hungry Pumpkin getting shut down thing, which I don't know. I don't know if I ever would have put together a George Orwell with a flash game called Hungry Pumpkin. Like,
No?
no, like that wasn't on my bingo card for 2026. But it, as I expected, the people in the Discord were way more upset about it than I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they were like, "Oh man, like what's going on? Like this is crazy." So what happened was, and I saw a little foreshadow of this in the beginning of having Hungry Pumpkin on on the AP Discord. Somebody was saying like, "Oh, this is okay, but Winnie the Pooh Home Run Derby isn't." Which amazing game. I wish I played the AP world because it sounds like it would be like horrifically frustrating in all the best ways. Um, but I guess what happened was it was taken down because, well, first of all, Disney, Jesus.
Mm.
I would not want to be like, because Archipelago already has to deal with the risk of being a source of distributing illegal assets.
Mhm.
So they can't produce ROMs,
No.
So like, yet all of the things that they provide are requiring that you acquire a ROM, and everything is like a patcher,
Mhm.
implying that you have exactly the right version. So for a
You can
lot
get
of
all
these
this stuff
things,
legally, it's possible, so
yeah, and it's difficult though.
yeah. But it's
Even
possible.
in that,
Mhm.
it's super possible.
Super
Like
possible.
for all intents and purposes, FBI agent and also Supreme Court watching this
Mm.
later when I'm sued for all of my money.
Oh, wow.
It's
Uh-oh.
super it's super possible, and that's the intended thing,
Mhm.
right? Is that these are
That's
all
what everyone
happening.
does.
That's what
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah,
does. True.
exactly.
um I think like the issue started with Disney because
Mm.
they didn't want to deal with Disney copyright for any reason.
N
Not like
Yeah.
nobody would. I
No.
mean,
God, no.
uh totally understand that. But then it started bleeding into, well, how can you play a Flash game now
Mm.
without pirating it?
Yeah.
It's technically not possible
Mhm.
unless, and this is a huge unless, you somehow have the old like SWF file on like a zip drive or whatever, like like something like super old, like you have heli attack on a series of floppy disks that you save just in case in 15 years when they make a multi-world like randomizer accessible and you want to play a flash game, like and it's yours? How did you get that not illegal? Like, how did you not just scrape that off the internet? Anyway,
Yeah.
um, they decided that there is no way to play a Flash game, um, uh, without pirating it. Essentially,
Mhm.
I'm really oversimplifying it,
Yeah.
and I'm probably like completely like butchering what actually happened. Um, but from my point of view, I was told it's pirated assets, and honestly, like I couldn't even use a lot of the original assets, so I drew them myself. But
Oh,
even that is kind of, I mean, I'm
like
copying.
tracing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's like all the trees and stuff in the back, the shelves and stuff were all drawn by me
Hmm.
with the paintbrush tool and Photopea. You know,
Wow.
like so like but it wasn't hard. Again, all in a weekend.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
I was like, this would be stupid, so I made it. And uh, so there was part of me that was like, well, I mean, I kind of redid these, and I recompiled it myself. The code is all original. The only thing is those assets, which are technically not mine.
Hmm.
But what's interesting about Hungry Pumpkin that isn't the case with uh, Winnie the Pooh is nobody knows who made Hungry Pumpkin.
Mm.
It is completely abandonware. Nobody has claimed it. It was just found on a website. There are little like strings that like lead to certain places, but like I followed all of them. I went everywhere. I traveled the world trying
Yeah.
to find who made the hungriest
I've talked to
pumpkin.
every human being on planet Earth,
Yeah, and every
alive
pumpkin. No
and dead.
one.
Don't ask how.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah. Those breadcrumbs have long been eaten.
A little
He's
bit.
very hungry.
Yeah.
Um, and I finally found, I think, what would technically be the most legally possible owner of the assets of Hungry Pumpkin. I found him. And they even have like a little mention of like from pumpkin to and then whatever the hell they're doing now. Um we need to get the investigative. There are investigative YouTubers who have looked into this.
Oh
That was
my
part of like what I
god.
was looking into because people are like, who that? Because it's interesting. It's like
Yeah.
this was like a cultural phenomenon. No one knows where it came from. No one's claiming it. Whoever made it clearly doesn't want to like come forward,
I don't want to
and that's
associate with it.
fine. Right. So this is like the absolute definition of abandonware.
Yeah.
Somebody literally made the decision, I am abandoning this.
Mm.
It is not mine anymore. Don't care, you know. So in that case, it's kind of like, do you need permission?
Mm.
Because there's no one to get permission from anymore that actually cares about it. So the way that I did it initially was even in that situation, I put like a stipulation saying like, if you are the owner of Hungry Pumpkin, if you made this and you are in any way unhappy, this is my email. I will respond to you in like 14 minutes because I'm so obsessed with this that like if you sent me an email, I would stop everything I'm doing and immediately respond because like the amount of mental anguish I've had about not even the making Hungry Pumpkin again in JavaScript. Like whatever. That sucked, but who the hell made this thing? That's kept me up at night. Um and finally I found this company or oh, right. So about the thing and they agreed like okay, well, you know, as long as it's like an active email like and there's an easy like no friction way that the copyright holder can say, "Hey, take this down," then that's okay. Eventually it wasn't. Like they were like, "Well, it's still pirated assets. We can't associate with it," which is totally understandable.
Mhm.
Um 1984. No, it like I literally can't. I cared about it so much less, I think, than most other people.
Honestly, I'm glad
Um,
they are kind of strict about it because one mistake
yeah,
could get the whole project shut down,
the entire project
and you
taken
don't
down,
want
and that's
that.
No, like over what?
Yeah.
Hungry Pumpkin?
Yeah,
You know, like
of all
no, it's
things.
not. It's not that big of a deal.
No.
And I obviously care about Archipelago a lot more than I care about
Hungry
Hungry Pumpkin.
Pumpkin. Yeah.
It's something that I made in a weekend.
Mm.
So totally understand. And people ask me like, "Oh, are you gonna put it up somewhere else?" I'm like, I'm working on Goldeneye.
Mhm.
That's like that's an actual kind of marginally serious project. Like
Yeah.
Hungry Pumpkin was kind of more to just see if I can do it, and then I did, and oops. But anyway, um, yeah, that was kind of my Discord moderator drama that kind of happened. And it wasn't even really drama because it was just kind of like I think a lot of people wanted to know like what I thought about it because I didn't say anything. Like Hungry Pumpkin got taken down after I made like a YouTube video about it and like all this stuff. And then it got locked. And I'm like, okay.
No.
It's
It's not like
yeah.
you don't have 10,000 other projects you can do right now.
Yeah, right. Well, that was kind of the thing. It's just like I even if I wanted to care about this a lot, I can't really dedicate all of my time away from the things that are like actually making me money for a shit post because that's essentially what it is,
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, that's kind of anyway. I successfully got you to take the attention away from the Guitar Mario thing.
Okay.
But
So that was the
it,
goal. Got it, got it.
yeah, yes, no, I mean the Mario Guitar thing. I think is that's kind of the whole. That's kind of the whole.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we got to we pretty much got to everything that's involved with that. I think at
Yeah.
this point it's kind of like I I'm overwhelmed with the amount of practice that it would take and to kind of get to a point where it's like a sub 30 or a sub 20 even.
Mm.
Um and the fact that it's inconsistent is also kind of frustrating. I think that has kind of taken away a lot of I mean earlier we were talking about making practice fun.
Mm. Yeah.
Um when you're practicing Mario, especially Mario 64. I haven't played. I haven't speed ran the 2D Mario's at all.
Not
But
yet, right?
I don't know. Like I uh, I grew up with Super Mario World.
Mm.
Maybe. I mean, my first game ever was Super Mario, like for the NES.
Me too.
So
Funny how things
yeah,
work out, huh?
yeah. It was the dual one with Duck Hunt on it too.
Me
So
too.
like,
Funny how things
yeah,
you
hell
had
yeah,
you have the gray zapper or the yellow or the orange one?
yeah. I had the was that orange?
Yeah, it was
Am
orange.
I?
It was one orange
Yeah,
and a
okay.
gray.
Yeah, I had the orange one.
I
Yeah.
got the gray,
Uh,
so the
hell yeah.
original.
Ah,
Yeah. I
that
still have it
technology
too. It's
is
right behind. I have a power
that's
glove
awesome.
too. Don't ask.
That I mean that dare I say that's gonna be worth something someday.
Yeah, it was worth $80 when I bought it last year. Anyway.
Hell yeah. Oh man, well that was probably pretty close to what it cost when it came out. Anyway,
Yeah.
uh, it's only going up. It's only um, there's part of me that kind of wonders if like the one of the MIDI guitars, like that, like if I were to actually find like maybe like a deal or something, like pick that up, maybe I would because I feel like one of the first things you do, or at least this is me projecting, when something's not working with practicing, is you immediately blame the controller.
Guilty as
Like, well, it can't
charged.
be. This can't possibly be a skill issue. This is definitely the controller's broken.
Yeah, I mean,
um,
sometimes it might be. Not
I mean,
every
especially with
time.
N64. Not every time. With N64 controllers, especially after grinding all of the bowls down with Bowser throws, like
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, the controller can very easily start malfunctioning. And I've busted them open plenty of times to, put in Frankenstein steel sticks and try different configurations of stuff. And so
Now
then
that's a
then
fun
there
rabbit hole.
oh
Fucking
yeah, it's fun, but then you're like, "Ooh, did I fuck something up the last time I opened up this controller?" Like
Mm-hmm.
now it keeps coming back to like, oh, like maybe I need to reseat this or something. I don't know.
Yep.
But yeah, I feel like it is absolutely hard not it's hard to be able to, if something goes wrong or there's something I'm practicing and it doesn't work, I can't rule out that it was just because of the all of the different things that this controller is go or this guitar to thing to then converter then to BizHawk is like any of these things can have like just a little bit of delay and pop me off the frame that I would have hit,
Mhm.
you know, that I should have hit with the timing that I had. Um, so there's part of me that feels like that's going to be a very frustrating practice experience.
Makes sense.
Um, so I haven't had a lot of uh, serious drive since that showcase to kind of dig into the guitar
Mm.
Mario stuff.
I will say
Um,
though, if you were to submit it to a mainline GDQ, I think it's guaranteed. So if you ever want an excuse to go,
yeah, no, that'd be stressful. I'd probably be
yeah,
more stressed playing Mario 64 with a guitar on stage than actually just playing a guitar on stage
maybe,
at
but I
this
mean,
point.
I don't know.
Um,
It
d-
it was crazy when
what?
CZR did it with the drums, and
Yeah. Um, I'm curious. Like, how did it feel? Like being up there?
oh, like to do a run on GDQ stage.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the first time I ever was on GDQ, it was when it was online, so that kind of doesn't help. And then I was Seth Bling of all people made me be one of his players for his thing. So
Hmm.
I didn't talk, but I was like pushing buttons on stage. So I had a
Hmm.
very weird rise, but my first
Okay.
like real thing was my one-handed warpless thing, which couldn't have gone better, so that also doesn't help. But the nerves are I will say the nerves never go away. And what I mean by that is like if you do run number 2, run number 3, you're going to have the same nerves every time, but once you're on stage they go away within like 2 minutes, which is the weird thing.
That's
That's the
that's the
weird
same thing
thing.
with music.
Yeah.
It's the same
So you're
thing. Like,
nervous as hell and then you settle in while you're doing it. And you like
mm,
remember that like, "Oh yeah, it was really easy." But you can never not be nervous going into it. Like I get the same nerves every single time, even though I know they'll
really,
go away. It's so weird.
I,
It's so weird.
it's and maybe this is full circle again, but it's literally the same thing with music.
Oh yeah.
I, I used to get so nervous before shows that I would like throw up.
Oh god.
Like I used to have like stomach like I used to have just horrible anxiety, and it was weird because I was like I don't even care, but like my body was reacting. Like I would be about to go play like for a college thing, or my first panic attack was on stage while I was having a good time. Like it's
Jesus.
so weird because like my body reacts differently than my brain does,
Mhm.
and I think a lot
Yes.
of people are like that.
Yeah.
But one of my I think my first show that I played for more than like 4 people in the audience, um, I had a panic attack. I thought I was dying from lung cancer at the tender
God.
age of 15 years old.
Jesus.
Because that's what it felt
No,
like. It
yeah,
just
no, I
feels
get
like
it.
everything drops, you know.
I
Um,
have gotten to the point where I for the first time in my life it felt like I was gonna pass out before.
yeah.
And it came from a stage thing. Not
Hmm.
exactly not a GDQ thing, but like actually a tournament showing, which has its own
Hmm.
like special nerves. and
Of
those
course,
nerves
yeah.
don't go away ever, which is the real fun part.
Oh no.
Anyway.
Yeah. No, with music, even with that, then I would go on stage after I played the first note, they're gone.
Yep.
It was just like if I could just get my hands to play that first note, nerves are gone. I would still mess up and I would still like interestingly with classical guitar, even if you're not nervous when you're performing, your hands will shake.
Mhm.
It's because all my understanding is so much of the blood and stuff are leaving your extremities as you're kind of entering the state of like all eyes are on you. You know, you're being judged, you're being, whatever. So like even if you're not nervous, your hands start shaking.
Mhm.
And it looks like you're nervous.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating because then you're like, oh man, you look nervous. Like, no, I wasn't nervous. I was confident. Like I could play it.
Yeah, there's a physical and a mental aspect, and they work separately.
Absolutely. So yeah, I eventually beat my anxiety. A lot of therapy and other things, but
Hell yeah.
no longer have to deal with that on stage. So that's nice. But
That's good.
um, I feel like it would be reinvigorated by doing something for GDQ.
Yeah. Again, my upbringing through GDQ was kind of weird, but so I can't speak on how like truly the first experience would be. Because
Mhm.
I don't know if my quote unquote first experience like soloing stage thing would be the same as everyone's. Just that's why I was bringing up all that. But from what I
Mhm.
can tell, yeah, it's like the nerves are gonna happen. There's no escape. They happen every time for me, despite me being used to it. But
Right.
after the first couple minutes, you have reached the flow state, and I think what also helps, you're probably used to performing and looking at everyone watching you. Here, they're all
Yes.
behind you. You don't see them,
That's almost
which
worse.
can. Oh, is it worse? For me, it's better.
Well, yeah, no, that makes sense. There's also something about I'm more nervous playing for like a dive bar than I am like a big stage.
Okay.
And part of the reason is because a bigger stage, the lights are in my face, so I can't see the audience.
Mm.
Like at
Okay.
a dive bar, I could see every one of those fuckers.
Yeah.
Like I could see their fit, because I'm also close to them and the space is small enough where I can see everybody's reaction while they're reacting.
Hmm.
On a bigger stage, it's like I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, you wouldn't be able to see them, so there you go.
so maybe, yeah, maybe it'd
There
be
are
the same
big
thing.
lights, and I mean, you literally can't see them because they're behind you. But
Yeah, no, maybe,
but
maybe,
yet
maybe.
the crowd is more akin to a more larger venue. Like, it's
Mhm.
definitely larger than a dive bar. The amount, like, the stage can hold like a
Yeah,
thousand people. There are like 1,000
uh,
chairs set up. Not to say they're always fully filled, but
full right, of course,
usually for like a Mario 64 thing they are, or like especially
right.
weird controller run CZR, crazy thing like peanut butter, every seat filled, you know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
but
I'm sure
so
they
it
had
would probably
overflow.
and because you have a name associated to you that people
Yeah.
recognize, I mean, you got to say how it is. That does help.
Stupid doorbell, man.
Yeah,
Should have never
well,
made that.
well, honestly, everyone at GDQ knows you just because they play your music all the time.
Power Up Audio, they worked on Necrodancer, so that's how I got hooked
Mhm.
up with those guys.
Yeah, like
Uh,
I see your name, like they always have music playing and they show the music credits. I see your name, I swear, like 10% of everything ever. So like,
that's funny because like I feel like I always watch when they don't play my
yeah,
music,
maybe.
you know. Yeah, like, and I'll be like, "Oh man, when are they gonna play mine?" And I guarantee you, the second I like get up and
Yeah,
do something else, then they play my song.
you
And
can take it
so
from
yeah.
me. They play your shit a lot. I
Aw,
promise. I promise. So
I'm glad. I'm glad. That's
yes,
very nice. That's very nice.
I'll hear metal a lot covers, and I'm like, I know who that is. Anyway,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
plenty of people can confirm this statement. It's fine. But yeah, I think that would be very big, just in general. So I mean,
All right, I'll do it then.
cool,
If you think so.
great, happy to help. Uh,
Yeah,
Now
absolutely.
I'm really good at getting people to do GDQ stuff. I have a side monitor. Currently, there's like a Tetris tournament to set up for like they're doing like NES Tetris finals on stage.
Uh huh.
I got the two people setting this up to talk, and that's why this is happening. So I'm good at this shit.
Yeah.
I'm good at
Hell
making
yeah.
shit happen. Uh,
Absolutely.
so,
I
just credit me when you do your run. Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah. Okay, great. I mean, if you do it, I will be front row. I was front row for
Oh,
CCR, so I will fight my way if I have to.
hell yeah. I'll make sure you get it.
Great,
If I
fantastic.
if I if I have any sort, like, usually when I do panels, like, a lot of, like, I'll have people who are like they're like there with me, and then they go and wait in line. I'm like, come on, like,
Yeah.
just no, don't wait in line. Come on.
They have
Um,
a pretty big front row for a lot of people.
that's
They
good.
have the famous back couch, right?
Yes,
Now there's also like 30 chairs surrounding the back couch. So like, and
the
they're
backpack
yeah,
couch,
and they
the
have like a
backer
dual
couch.
yeah, the backer couch. They have like a dual stage setup now too, and it's always in the middle of the two stages,
Mhm.
and there's like a TV on the floor in front of the back couch. It's a great setup. Love that. But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
whenever I watch a run, I make sure to fight my way there because
Yeah.
when you go to a GDQ, you're not really going for the stream room. You're
Right.
going for the arcade, the practice room, parties every night, the everything surrounding. Like if you're in Minneapolis, there's so much to do. That's what you're going there for. But when you're
God.
supporting a friend's run, you're fighting your way to those couches.
Yeah. When's SGDQ?
Uh
Let's
oh,
see.
that's like in 4 weeks, 3 weeks. It starts July 5th.
Uh,
But yeah, HDQ is going to be in Atlanta. And I think it's the first full week of January. That I know. So,
Atlanta's pretty easy for me.
mm,
I was just there.
yeah.
So, yeah, and I've been cooking some fun things
Oh, they also
with.
usually, well, I didn't know if they had one at HDQ, but this is going to be a new venue. I don't know. At HDQ, they have a band room.
Oh, like a jam space?
Yes, a jam space with a keyboard,
Yeah, yeah.
guitars. You can bring your own shit. People brought like all kinds of shit. It was crazy. Yeah, so
Yeah. I
people
mean,
made
honestly,
sessions. I'm trying
my
here.
j- no, I really want to go. July actually opened up a little bit for me. Um,
Yeah, I know at this venue last year they had a jam session, like
hmm,
whole jam room. I'm not gonna guarantee. I don't work, even though I'll talk highly about GDQ for hours on end and do so much shit for them. Apparently, I'm not staff or anything, so I can't like guarantee
hmm.
stuff. But it'd be a big shame if they got rid of the jam room because that was fun. Yeah, they also have Artist Alley now. They have indie developers. GDQ's crazy in current day. You can do so much shit there. It's ridiculous.
My my roommate is a huge Final Fantasy 14 runner.
Hmm.
He goes by Delcake. He's also a mod in the 8-Bit Drummers
Ah,
channel and stuff.
good.
Um, but uh, he goes to GDQ.
Yeah.
Maybe we can plane pool.
Ooh, there
I
you
mean, this
go.
is not really how it works, but I don't know. Well, I don't know if he's going to SGDQ. I should ask him, but
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to stop you from going to SGDQ, but obviously all of that's already been set up, and the prices have been jacked up now because there's an early entry fee, and then they jack it up when it's like a month
mhm.
out, which it is. So it'd be more expensive, and hotels are probably hard. And obviously you couldn't like submit anything since the schedule's out already. But yeah, if you want to submit something, AGDQ is probably
HGDQ it
really good.
it overlaps with Magfest.
Yeah, that is the other thing. Well, SGDQ next
Yeah,
year.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
by then, and you're not the first person I've told this. By then, I'll have my time down. It's not a big deal.
yeah, yeah,
Like, I'm not worried
exactly. No,
about
yeah, you got plenty of time. So,
it. Yeah, no,
but yeah, I can all again. I'm not games committee. I'm not staff. You can take whatever I'm saying with the largest grains of salt you want, but I can almost guarantee if you submitted Mario 64 on guitar, it's like, yep, awesome, have fun. So,
yeah. I just feel like if I did it, I'd want the time to be lower, and I'd want the controller to be more consistent.
well, you have plenty of time then because
Yeah.
um, you would have half a year, and if that doesn't work, you have a full year.
True.
So, but I mean, yeah,
Cool.
GDQ is a great time just to be at as well. I can highly recommend, given I've been to 10 of them now, I think. I don't
Wow.
have a problem.
I mean, it seems like I mean, I'm a huge fan of MagFest, and that's just
Hmm.
like it's all about the arcade, the music, and the parties. It
That
sounds
is
just about the same thing.
GDQ. Arcade well, I can't say music is like a main feature, but yeah, they do have the music thing. GDQ is arcade, music, all the video games you want. Literally, they have every console you can think of. You can rent them for free and just play whatever. Tournaments, mainstream, artist alley, indie developers, parties surrounding it. There's so much. It's crazy, and it's also not that big compared to like most conventions. Like two and a half
Mm.
thousand people maybe, instead of like,
Wow.
yeah, I want to go to TwitchCon with 30,000 people. No, like, ugh, jeez.
Well, that's so I live in San Diego,
Yeah, okay.
and
So
they have TwitchCon here.
I've been to
And yeah, it's
TwitchCon, 2024. I was the
oh,
finale run of GDQX. Big deal, but
I I might have been there.
oh, okay. Well,
Well, I was definitely in that room. I don't know if I was there for the finale,
yeah. Well,
uh, but it was cool because since I've never been to GDQ, that was the closest thing that I
mhm.
had to actually being in the stream room that I
Yes.
watch every year. So it
Same
was cool.
environment, just less people overall because a lot of people are more spread out doing whatever else
Hmm.
is there. But yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. Well, then you might have seen me. I commentated two runs as well. So if you saw
Hmm.
Sonic 3 or Mario, classic Mario, if you saw like a
Hmm.
bunch of NES Nintendo World Championships, that was me, but
I
probably not.
might have saw. I might have seen Mario 64.
Oh, that was when Liam was coaching Staro Chris that event. That's
Okay.
that's what I remember.
Yeah.
I helped Liam find where to go because he'd never done any GDQ stuff. Again, I do so much stuff for him, but I'm like not actually involved. It's funny.
No, it's
I wonder
yeah.
how
I
they see
mean,
me. Anyway,
well, I know how TwitchCon sees me.
yeah.
They hate me.
Okay, great.
Yeah, they well I did I went on the main stage like I was the headliner for TwitchCon 2015
Ooh,
and I
wow.
called them CringeCon.
Okay, great.
And
That was a decade ago.
yeah, well, I mean, they still haven't had me back. I don't really know
Okay,
why.
interesting,
Maybe
interesting.
yeah, weird and just very no.
I mean, I
They
get it.
deserved it.
Yeah,
They they didn't give us a sound check. They barely gave us a warning that we were going to play it. There's a lot of stuff. It was
yeah,
not very good. They have since made a better con for sure.
yeah. And
That first one was rough.
I didn't really find much enjoyment in it other than the GDQ thing. Like the GDQ thing is exactly how it is, basically, at a main event,
Hmm.
as far as the stage is. Like, there's so much more to do at GDQ that's not there because it's
Hmm.
just a side thing. But like, oh my god, like TwitchCon is weird. It's weird.
It's very
I
weird.
met a lot of cool people I wouldn't have met otherwise. Like some people, friends that like got famous, and it's like, you know, only go to TwitchCon if they're gonna go somewhere. So it's like, oh hey, I can finally see you.
Uh,
But yeah, I don't know. The con itself, GDQ cool. The rest, I wouldn't go unless I got into GDQ because if you get into GDQ for like a PAX event or a TwitchCon, they
mhm.
remove the fee,
Yeah,
which is I would not be paying that
huge.
fee to go.
Yeah, yeah.
Those prices are fucking atrocious.
They're getting worse
Yeah,
too.
it's
So
like I'm
yeah,
not spending
absolutely.
$250 for 3 days at TwitchCon. Absolutely not.
Yeah, and that's not including the
$125. Yeah, $125 for 7 days at GDQ. I'll do that every fucking time, and I have.
yeah. That's worth
So
it. Yeah, no, that's worth it. I mean, like yeah, 250 like
it's
I
fucking
could
wild.
talk I could talk about forever about but like on top of like travel and board
Hmm.
and food
Oh,
it's
it was
ridiculous.
it was a mess. Like
Going to
even with having the
Magfest
fee
costs like
waived. Ugh.
yeah, well like going to Magfest is like that's like $1,000
Real? Oh
because of
my
just like
god.
like with the amount that the Gaylord costs at their Discord their discounted rate Um, the food in National Harbor is incredibly expensive.
Jeez.
Getting around is incredibly expensive if you're not at the Gaylord. And then yeah, flying or taking a train. It's and then the ticket. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's absolutely
So
ridiculous.
yeah,
But
I could rant about con prices for all day, but GDQ is like the
yeah,
only
me
one.
too.
Even I've ranted a little bit at GDQ because I remember it used to be like $60 for the week. Hell yeah, but
That's I don't even know how they how they could like
yeah, I mean this was like
pay for anything with that.
2019, but like
Mm,
no, overall to like every convention I've been to, like GDQ is the best bang for your buck by far. It's ridiculous. So
got it.
yeah. Anyway, hopefully I've
Cool.
gloated about GDQ enough for you. I don't know.
I'll be there. I don't know
Great.
when, but I will be there
Great.
for
Awesome.
sure. I do think I have to get going, unfortunately,
Ah,
but
fair.
um, I really do appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, this was fun. I enjoyed my time.
y- awesome, me too. I like, and it's such a pleasure to talk to other runners and like because it's not a world that I'm very submerged in. You
Mm.
know, it's something that I really really dip like at most 8 toes in. You know, and then accidentally kind of fall into these like kind of like, oh, like cool, like I'm doing this now, which is something I never thought I would do. That's awesome. Like
Oh yeah.
um but I'm always pulled back to music, you know, like
Mm.
so I feel like that's what feels comfortable to me. That's my main thing, you know. And it's always I don't know, it's just always such a nice indulgence, you know, to get to talk about this stuff,
Yeah.
like
I mean,
stuff that I care about and clearly you care about
yeah,
too.
I love listening to people talk about speedrunning. I wouldn't have been doing this for 3.5 years weekly if I didn't.
Well, congrats on 3 years.
Yeah,
That's
we're still
that's
going.
consistent as hell. Fuck yeah.
Well,
Well, keep
can
it
I
up.
go over some quick finale questions then as we wrap up here?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. So,
Let me just stretch really quick.
yeah. So,
I'm listening. I'm just stretching my
no, I
legs.
got you. So I always ask before ending, and I guess I'll do as it relates to speedrunning mostly, but just future plans. Any
Um
games on the speedrun backlog, etc.
yeah, so I'm working on Mario 120.
Mm-hmm.
Um my passion and focus has been Archipelago um right now. Uh so working on getting a 0.15 version of GoldenEye AP out soon. Um which is mostly the same as the point 0.1 version that's out, but a completely refactored code because the other one was honestly too vibe coded. I didn't want it to code it for me, but it's kind of like for me because I'm learning, I like to be able to have like an AI there to be like, okay, I'm trying to do this thing. Can you walk me through? And then before I'm done talking, it just does it for me. I'm like, no, delete that, and then it deletes everything, and you're like, no,
Yeah,
not. Yeah, so
yeah, I can't stand
uh,
AI for many reasons. So.
yeah, no, it's there's so many things in me that wants to figure out how do you use AI as a tool, and
It,
like
the
how do you
answer
make
is
it
don't,
ethical? Yeah,
unfortunately.
and that's what I'm learning is just
Yeah,
like it's all just a waste of time.
you know it.
So yeah, I refactored the whole code, did everything from scratch, commented every single line, and it's way harder, but I'm learning a lot more. And the new the new code is much more modular, and I'll be able to add a whole lot more shit posting. My favorite being there is just one bit where if you flip it, Bond just explodes forever,
Cool.
and that's a fun trap.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so it's just been fun to find stuff, you know, like so. That's been my focus. Speedrunning wise, I think I'm kind of like so. After I finally got my I don't even remember what the time is at this point. It was like a sub 1, sub 2, sub 230. I think it was sub 230 in MST for Ocarina of Time. Once I got that, I submitted it and they rejected it because I played Suavemente during the Phantom Ganon fight, which is, I guess weird but fair. Um, I was kind of just like, oh, well, I guess maybe I can try to get it again. But then I was just at that point, I was like, ugh, like I did it. It doesn't matter if it's on the leaderboard. I know I did it.
Yeah,
So,
and that's the other thing about
um,
speedrunning. The leaderboards really don't matter. You can do whatever the hell you want. It's fine.
exactly. Yeah, and it's respectable. Like if you're
Hmm.
worried, like, oh no, people aren't gonna respect me unless it's on the dude,
No.
fuck
Who
it.
who the fuck
No,
cares about leaderboards,
no,
honestly?
no, no one fucking cares.
No.
It's fine. Um, hell yeah, yeah. That's pretty much it. Probably next run would be Mario 120 star.
Hmm. Yeah, they're having a big race for the 30th anniversary here, a couple weeks. So
Hell yeah.
I might join in on that. I only have like a 230. It's not good, but like it's fine. So
That's probably gonna be my goal.
yeah,
I would just be aiming for a sub 230. Yeah,
yeah. I have like a 230 28. It's great.
230 28.
It's something
My
like that.
I have a 1758 in
Jeez.
16.
Oh.
I think like a 58 something in 70 star.
Mm.
And that's one of those things where it's just like, yeah, but like trying to get a sub 55 is like,
Oh my
that's a
god.
grind,
Yeah.
like, but getting that sub hour, that was like, that's fun. It was a good time.
Hmm.
Like,
Well, your 16 star's better than
ugh.
mine by like a minute, but then my 70
It
is
was,
better than yours by like a minute, so it's fine.
oh yeah,
It
well,
balances
yeah,
out.
hell yeah. Yeah. Well, we should race for sure.
I mean,
My my
I'm
my
down.
my my sub 18 16 was a fluke. I don't know how that happened. It literally was like a stream that I was not even planning to do 16, but I was just like, "Yeah, fuck it. Like let's do a 16-star run." And it was
That's
like
when the magic
uh,
happens.
I know, man. Like it's not when you're practice. Like you still have to practice obviously, but
Hmm.
like it's when you're like just chilling,
Rusty.
not
Yeah.
not yeah, rusty that
Hmm.
the magic happened. No, for
It's
sure.
crazy. Yeah. So many stories like
But
that, though.
hell yeah. Well, if not before, then maybe at a GDQ we could rev up some Mario 64. That'd be fun.
Hell yes. All right. Well, guess the last thing to have you do then is self-promote your content however you see fit.
Yeah, just pretty much FamilyJules everywhere or FamilyJules 7X. Think it's yeah, it says below. YouTube is FamilyJules 7X, Blue Sky is FamilyJules 7X, and then Twitch, YouTube, or yeah, my speedrun content is at youtube.com/JulesConroy. That's where like highlights and stuff are if you want to see like some of the arcs and horrible degenerate stuff I talk about during runs. Um, and then Twitch is where I've been doing a lot of Archipelago stuff, which is right here at FamilyJules.
Yeah, and all the links are on screen and in the YouTube description, so you can click
Hell yeah.
to your heart's content. Well,
And then there's also Rift of the Necrodancer Volume 2 just came out with 2 new songs
mm,
by me.
ooh, there you
So
go.
go pick that out.
Yeah,
Pick that out, pick that up. And one of the songs has no guitars that I wrote.
interesting. It's funny. Someone that was in chat earlier, Legally Sam, really good at Rift of the Necrodancer. Did a showcase at PAX East actually at GDQ. So
Hell
I'm
yeah.
sure he's all over it. So shout out to
I'm
you.
sure yeah, I'm sure my songs infuriate you because they're very hard, but they asked me to write songs for
There he is. Oh,
but yeah, no, thanks again so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
oh, yeah. Thank you for coming on. I mean, I love talking to people, so I'm
Awesome.
happy to keep doing that.
Hell yeah.
But yeah,
Well, I wish you all the luck in the world, and I hope you keep doing it.
yeah. Well, I don't plan on stopping, so that's good. I
Hell
probably would
yeah.
have done that by now.
Well, you clearly enjoy it, so that's
That is true. I can't say I don't. But yeah, thanks again for coming on. Really
Oh
enjoyed our
wait, shit.
time. Oh,
Only one Jules Volume 2 song is out so far. Oh shit. I only did one song.
yeah.
Maybe
Okay. One
I
song.
just broke. I just broke NDA. Don't worry about it.
No. There's only
It's
one
fine.
song. You just misspoke. Like it's a
That's right.
common
When I
thing.
said two,
You meant one.
I mean we.
Yeah.
Shit. Fuck. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe there'll be more later. I don't know. I actually don't
We can
know. I don't know when it
theorize.
would
We
be
can
released.
theorize.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a game theory.
Thanks for
Cool.
watching.
All right. Well, and that's
Perfect.
how it ends.
Yeah. Perfect. Yep.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. I'm gonna get going.
Yep.
If that's okay.
Yep. I will end the stream now. So, yep. Thanks everyone for watching. Keep
Cool.
watching episodes. Appreciate it. All right. See ya.